wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Go!
To last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want it, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim. Yeah. Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the gas, you can see all the healing. If the pain's
Just ask them how I did it. I got out the limo, grabbed her hand, went upstairs and fucked her.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
I'm in Miami right now. I'm in Miami right now. I'm in that for your file. I'm on Ocean Drive. I'm in Miami. In Miami right now. I'm in that for your file right now. On Ocean Drive right now. That's on my mama. I'm in Miami. I go to the window, so I'm going to Cali. I said I'm too official. I'm out with them niggas. I said, man, the rapper on the city, that nigga, he rigging. We pull out with them guns, you know me in the real. Well, mama pays, I ain't having ever since that I'm a sale. real. Whenever I'm my mouth, cause I swear I'm too real. Yeah, I'm in the East Coast, I'm living life for real. Why the fuck you can hate it? I ride to the chill. You gon' really piss me off, and I'ma pull up on the steel. I'ma pull up on the Draco and get your ass killed. Man, stop capping, cause I'm fucking wicked. I pull up to your city, tell me your location, bitch. You know we fuck that shit. My youngest know you killing. I wanna grind, got money in my mind, no money on my wrist, so I can tell the time. You know I'm rapping the job and I'm trying to eat. All around the world I'm doing shows, I really come to eat. Hey, they trying to play on me, I swear I'm doing my shit. One of my time I was poor and I ain't have shit. Every day I'm just riding by the same outfit. I done came up, I'm switching cars, yeah, I'm switching shit. These niggas mad at me, they wanna clone me. I'm in Miami right now, I'm off of South Beach. I'm living large, I'm living life. They know me, wanna take my life. Yeah, it's on my mama. I'm in Miami. I'm out there doing this video shooting on the Cali. I'm on my mama, I'm on my mama, and I'm in Miami right now. I'm in the 305, yeah, I'm on Ocean Drive. Pull up with a red car, my life is on now. They wanna play with me, they wanna clone me. I'm bad bitch, Latino, she wanna sleep with me. I'm in the 305 right now. I'm in Miami right now. On Ocean Drive right now. I'm in Miami right now. I'm in Miami. I'm in the 305. 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 I'm in Miami right now. Yeah, I'm on Ocean Drive. I'm in Miami right now. Yeah, I'm on Ocean Drive. Yeah, and the front car. That's all look at me. I'm the youngest in the game. You can't beat me. Cause I'm that nigga from the bottom. No, I will never change. Diamonds on my hoodie. I got diamonds on my chain. I'm in this song. No, that's right. Ain't no game. Yeah. In Miami right now. And the 305. Yeah.
From the streets, bitch.
Shot clock at 7. Westbrook on the drive, falling away. Won't go. Rebound taken by Iguodala. They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining. The brilliant shooting of Stephen Curry continues. And he ties the NBA record with his 12th three-pointer of the game.
Westbrook gets off a decent look, the banker, and you've got to press up. Robertson just a little late, but that's just...
That's about 35 feet out, well beyond the 28-foot mark. And now with 0.6 of a second remaining. It's a three-point lead. Obviously, Oklahoma City has to go for a three.
Draymond Green pushing. 6 assists for Green. Curry along 3.
It's good! Steph Curry from way downtown. Some Curry chaos here in the third.
It's the largest lead of the game. Absolutely ridiculous. Range unlimited. Mama, there goes that man, and then says, put a ring on it. In the previous play, moving without the rock, Draymond Green does his job, setting the screen. You have to have help. And like I said, looking for the ring. Number 4, that is.
night, crew. Man, what the fuck is going on, man? Shit, man. We here, man. Say what's up to your boy, eh? Before we have a little chit chat, huh? David, Shan, A-Dub, Jazzy, Turtle, Lennox, Diggity, Lefty, Kawhi, J-Rock, Joy. Krista, what's happening? Miss George, we in this motherfucker, man. K-Rod, what's happening? Nigga, I am so fucking emotionally exhausted. Josu, what's happening? Cynthia, what's happening? Potato Gaming, cousin. Rule number 5. Oh my goodness. Lisa, what up? Mr. Big. We in this thingamajig. I'm like sleepy. Donis, what's happening? I don't know about y'all. When the best cure for sleepiness for me shall be this blunt. Can't fall asleep while you smoking. Now you know what you're doing. Man, if y'all have heard how loud that was. Today has been a long fucking day for me. I have never refreshed a motherfucking court page so many times in one day in my entire life. So I guess let's get the big shit out of the way. No news is good news. We do have confirmed they were in the case file on the 21st. So any day we should. I thought we could have maybe heard from yesterday, or today. But I also spoke with somebody and learned that it just depends how long the judge takes to get through everything. And we submitted 191 pages between the motion to the respond to the motion to dismiss and the complaint itself. So the fact that he didn't just slide in today and just say, fuck y'all, go home, that's a good thing. Will it be good on my nerves? No. I was on pins and needles until like 6, 7 o'clock. And then like, I don't know if you ever known what it's like to just like be kind of running off adrenaline and then that shit turn off and your body kind of just like shuts down. That's why it took me so long to get here. If it wasn't for the fact I had to come to at least let niggas know what the fuck happened, I was not coming tonight. I'd rather that it had happened already so I could explain why I didn't come. But I couldn't not come and they didn't even answer yet. But if you go look, you can see that the clerk was in the file yesterday. So we are waiting on Judge Oric. Judge Oric is taking some years. He took some years off my life today. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I will say the fact that it didn't come back today is actually a good sign for us. At least that's what it appears to be. Now, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I just need this hurry to be over. I can't live in this like fugue state for the next whatever. They was like, if this was like a complicated case, like if this was a case where it was like a lot of complicated shit, they said a motion to dismiss can take months. I was like, what? Fuck you mean it could take months? Ain't nobody got time for that. Jackie, what's happening? You've been checking YouTube notifications all day. I've been checking fucking the court. I've reloaded that court page maybe about 300 times minimum. I had to make myself go to the fucking grocery store because it was fucking, the anticipation was killing me. And then this is how I knew it was like killing the house too. Okay, this is random as shit. I go to the grocery store. So me and Christy kind of got a system where just put groceries in, like, especially like the Walmart, for example. Just put groceries in the Walmart cart. Then when I go or whatever, I'll go in the Walmart cart and just remove the shit and put it in my real cart, right? So it's kind of like Walmart Plus, except I'm the delivery driver. Okay. She had on the grocery list, she had 2 cans of red enchilada sauce. Then she had green enchilada sauce. But I removed the green enchilada sauce before I saw if it was 1 or 2 cans. Okay. So how do I solve that? Obviously, I just called my wife and asked her, did you want 1 can or 2? So I call her, phone ringing. She picked up, hello? I was like, yeah, I was looking at this list. Do you need 1 can? She thought I was calling about the motherfucking court, nigga. I didn't even think about it like that until after she answered the phone like she had ran across the fucking house to get to the phone. So shout out to Christy. I know she going through it. Nigga, this is one of the longest fucking waits of anything I've ever had to deal with in my entire life outside of waiting for my kids to get here. I don't think there'll ever be a wait longer than that, but outside of anything of importance, like as far as my business and business career and all this shit you want to call it, today has been the longest wait. It was terrible. I couldn't stay concentrated on shit. I started to play the video game. I couldn't play the game. I couldn't do shit. Stuck waiting, bro. But if he thought the shit was frivolous, he would have just thrown it out today. So I truly believe that Judge Orrick is taking it all seriously and whatnot. And so celebrations coming. When the official shit going, man, bro, just say something today, please. Please don't leave me on the ropes like this for weeks. Shout out to everybody who hit me today. I needed to hear it today. Nigga, I was stressed the fuck out all day long. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm tired. Have you ever been so stressed out that you just get tired? Nigga, bro, sleep. I was asleep before this. I came back from the grocery store, and then that's when I started realizing that, like, all right, it probably ain't gonna happen today. So I'm getting kind of panicky. So then I start, then I gotta make some moves to try to find out what's what. But then I talked to some things and learned that this is actually a good sign. Worst case scenario, it could take months, but there's a 1% chance it would take months because of the straightforwardness of said case. There's not all these interconnected parts. But judge is still out. There is no official decision made, but we do know that they was in the case file right the night before today. So it sounds like Judge Orrick's been going through the 190-page complaint, as well as, well, how long was YouTube's response? I think the response was 20 pages, but that 20 pages is very facetious because their 20 pages includes like 7 pages of like table of contents and shit. So I feel good. I actually, I feel better now because I was shitty. The longer I was waiting and reloading and shit, I was getting mad in a sense. But then, you know, once I learned what I learned, I'm like, okay, that calmed me down to know that it didn't happen today. But man, oh man. Looks like I ain't gonna get a real night of sleep until then. Trapping After Dark was happening. Sophia, KS Dub, Curious Observer. Shay's awesome. Shay's just like, I'm coming down off of adrenaline. I'm coming down off of like intense levels of adrenaline. I went and played the game last night. I hadn't played that bad. Like I got on LNC Gaming for like half a second after I got off the air. And I got my ass kicked every fucking match. It didn't feel like I was having concentration problems, but I had to be. Ham dog. Says, all we waiting for is the official word to go crazy. Josu, everybody. But I did come bearing gifts tonight. I do got a very nice cause by now I think everybody has seen this chick pretty much at this point. But I got something that nobody else has been talking about with this chick. This is gonna be an LNC exclusive. You can thank God dropped this in my lap because I didn't even have it in me to do no type of real research or nothing. I would like a map, like a time-lapse map. I would love a time-lapse map of my pattern going through Walmart. I was in aisle A1, then I would go down A3, then I remember something on A15, then I would go back to A2, then I remember something on 21, then I would go back to like 7, then I remember some shampoo on the other side of the store. Like, I would love to see just a tracing of my footsteps in that trip to Walmart. We might even talk about somebody else had a motion to dismiss today that was decided on. The one Keffe D. Keffe D. And how many of y'all have a crypto wallet at all? Or better yet, how many of y'all use Coinbase? 1 for yes, 2 for no. So for those that don't know what Coinbase is a digital currency wallet. And like I have things that I pay for in Bitcoin every month. And so I got cryptocurrency, I got NFTs, I got some shit. I ain't like no baller or no shit like that. Don't get it twisted. Kendra, what's happening, cuz? We still on the clock, Kendra. But this is a good one. I get an alert from Coinbase. These niggas is like, we now officially have the Trump coin. I said, I'm done. I'm done. I don't even want to fight no more. I don't even want to fight with this shit. And let me double up the vote. So we talking about the Trump coin. Did you hear what happened with Andrew Tate? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. Yes, and I think they reloading it too, Jazzy. I think they trying to reload and do it again. Andrew Tate on a live stream. This nigga goes, wait, Trump got a coin and Trump's doing meme coins? So this is official. This nigga set up a fucking coin within I think it was like a couple hours. He set up a coin and rug pulled his fans off the hype of the Trump coin. Y'all niggas, bro. You niggas will fall for everything. You niggas will. Hey, that we might show that tonight. I got that story in the motherfucking strap tonight. Dollars was happening. So before we start the ring cam video shit, because this is gonna fuck you up, because I'm gonna show you some shit that some people ain't talking about. I just want to make sure I announce this again so everybody hear me. You obviously, you can go to Court Listener and look up the case. The clerk was in the case file yesterday, the 21st. So it's now the 23rd. 21st. The judge didn't come back yet. The fact that the judge didn't come back means he's taking our case seriously. Because why would he, in not taking us seriously, why wouldn't he just clear us off his docket? If you know what I mean? So that's good. What I learned is that worst case scenario, it could take months. There's no way it takes months because of the straightforward nature of this. But a couple days, and if in the worst case scenario, well, the second worst case scenario is if I don't hear anything in 2 weeks, I should contact the court, which is not going to be necessary. This just isn't that complicated situation. This is more likely just it's 190 pages just from us, 20 to 30 pages from you two total. And so I appreciate that the judge is actually taking his time with it. So I didn't ghost everybody today, nigga. I was waiting, nigga. I was waiting, and I'm sitting here. I was doing math all day long. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. That means it's 6 o'clock there. So they probably are officially for real done for the day. I loaded that page so many times, but we still on the clock. So we still on the clock. There ain't nothing. I personally think it's good. And from what I've been told, this is a good thing for us. So we still holding. We holding firm. We holding firm. We holding firm. Bro, I bullshit you not, Jazzy. I refreshed that motherfucking ECF court page several times. One time I refreshed it and that motherfucker said, sorry, can't find what you're looking for. Nigga, I got happy to the motherfucker. Cause you know how sometimes when you refreshing a page, it'll do some shit like that when the page changes. So that shit was like, can't find what you looking for. I got all happy and shit. I try to back and log back in and log in back to it and go to it. It's like, oh, it's the same. And I ain't bullshit. I was happy the motherfucker. That motherfucker gave me some type of error on one of the times I reloaded. I was like, oh yeah, nigga. I'm telling you, when I called my wife just about something on the grocery list, nigga, she was exasperated. Hello? And you didn't hear anything. That was, I bullshit you not, that was the last thing she said to me before I hung up. And you didn't hear anything, correct? No, baby. Baby, I would tell you about the biggest thing involving our family ever. I wouldn't just call you about enchilada sauce and leave out the fact that, oh yeah, the judge denied the motion. So if y'all was, just know if y'all was refreshing the YouTube page, I was refreshing the court page times 1,000,000. I've been refreshing the court page since about 9 this morning. From about 9 to 8, good 9 to 8. I put in a good 11-hour shift on the refresh. I'm in the grocery store, nigga. Before I get out of the car, refresh the motherfucker, get in there and refresh the shit. Bro, I would just stop. I would be going down the aisle, put the shit in the cart, and I'd stop, pull over to the side, refresh. Which, shout out to Rhonda. I ain't gonna put Rhonda's business out there. But big shout out to my sis Rhonda, bro. But let me tell you how that shit fucked me up. I get my phone. I walk away from my phone for a couple minutes. What up, DJ? I get to my phone. All I see is in group chat. I pull down my phone, my drop down. That motherfucker's like, congratulations, 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 congratulations. I was like, man, what the fuck going on? I was like, y'all see something I don't? Then I went over there and saw. I was like, oh yeah, y'all do see something I don't. This is crazy. So big congratulations to Rhonda. That was another false alarm. Everything was a false alarm today, nigga. Everything I heard. I come out of the room, Chrissy like nothing. Like, it was the only topic of the house today. I'm not gonna fucking lie. It was the only topic of the house. Period. And so then, after I realized that shit wasn't gonna happen, my body just like started shutting down. I was like, nigga, I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work. Can't be doing this. I gotta go to work. But shit, we here. We still waiting. Today is just now Thursday. So he got today. He got tomorrow if he need to. Just bro. Hey, judge, take as long as you need. Just rule right. It's not time for me to start getting greedy with the shit. Take as long as you need. Just if as long as you rule the right way, I'm with it. Everything I did. This is, bro, I felt like a kid. I felt like I was addicted to TikTok today. I was like, this must be what it's like to be on TikTok. You just keep refreshing, hoping to see something new. I was like, damn, I'm low-key addicted to TikTok today. But here we are. So, hold on. I mean, I kind of got to do it for the culture. I kind of got to refresh it one time. I got to refresh it one time before I actually go to work. So y'all gonna have to excuse me, nigga. Log in the federal court, bitch. We kind of got to do it for the culture at this junction. Do 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 do. All right. Let me get an update. Wrong report. Oh. Modified on 1/21/2025. So, and I know they get a motherfucking, they get a reporter every time I do shit on this motherfucker. They got a long list from a nigga today. They got a long list from a nigga today. Oh, let me show everybody. You know, I got to make sure I get my receipts going. I'm ready to, bro. We about to get into this Karen bitch. All right, friendly reminder. Wednesday was vacated. The motion to dismiss will be decided on papers without oral argument. My last entry was modified by court staff yesterday, 1/21, which means they probably grabbed it, put it in the stack. They probably grabbed it, put it in the stack. So, just so we all on the same page. They're like, no, nigga, you know they said you lost, bitch. They're not coming back to say I lost. You don't understand how this story plays out, and that's cool. Everybody was refreshing, not because they thought that they was getting bad news. Everybody was ready to celebrate. We was refreshing to celebrate. Bro, I'm not nervous like that. I got nervous energy. I know how this goes. I told you. You mean to tell me I told you motherfuckers how it's gonna go and I'm gonna get scared now and walk away from everything I've been saying? No, I goes down with the ship. We will be playing as the boat goes down. Nigga, we will near my God today. I will be standing right over there with them niggas in the violin, nigga. Yes, the first ever Titanic reference on the show. And I stand on it. We will be playing as the ship goes down. So you can enjoy that much. If you ready to talk about this ring cam situation, put the LNC in the chat, bro. Do not put it in the cat. Put it in the chat. Because some of you niggas is nervous all day. I know it was some of you niggas on the opposition that was refreshing all day too. And nigga, ASAP Rocky gonna take that shit to trial? We might talk about this ASAP. The shit ASAP Rocky said to the judge. The judge like, hey, just so you know, nigga, you not getting no special treatment because you who you are or you with Rihanna. I said, when the judge said that, I said, nigga, you might want to take that plea, nigga. He brought up your baby mama, nigga. You might want to take that plea. ASAP Rocky turned down the sweet. He got caught shooting a nigga on camera and turned down the most sweetest plea. I don't know what ASAP is. I know what they think they trying to pull, but that's a gamble, nigga. We have to talk about ASAP tonight. We got a few things to talk about, bro. So let's get into it. Let's do August the Duck. I'm gonna let you go ahead and intro her. But August, man, y'all other YouTubers gotta start doing some homework. Y'all gotta stop regurgitating the same shit. We need full coverage of shit. And Shay got the full coverage.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Unravel coverage. Do the Unravel research, because I got a motherfucking Unravel squad. Shout out to the whole Real Late Night crew. Hit that motherfucking like button. Hit the like button or get the fuck out.
Do you live here? Yeah. You do? I don't believe that.
Why would you ever say that to any place where you don't live there? Well, here's the biggest question I have with this chick. Why are you outside this late with your kids when you this scary? I mean, this shit like Mayberry out of this ring cam. Granted, it's just a grainy ring cam shot. I don't believe that. Okay.
I don't believe that.
Well, guys, it's a tale as old as time. It seems like, I don't know, every 2 or 3 months, maybe, somebody on the internet goes viral for doing something that reveals something pretty bad about their character, which in turn...
And just for the record, shout out to August. What up, Kimberly? I've never stood on somebody's porch and told somebody that lived there that they don't live. I've never had this happen. I don't even know where her mind was going.
Like ruins their life, and then they try and save it by doing some sort of apology or explaining what they did, and then that reveals something even worse about their character, and they ruin their life again. Happens all the time for some reason. And most recently, it's happened to this woman.
Bro, she looked like somebody's little brother, nigga, like...
You're looking at here.
Trina, what's happening?
Michelle Bishop, who was caught on a Ring doorbell committing what has got to be like the most...
Yeah, I saw that shit. Motherfucker. Shannon had the motherfuckers on there. I'm gonna do them one better. They don't even know. I promise you, the Shannon Sharp interview with Mike Jenkins and family would have went way differently if they knew what I'm about to show y'all.
blatant example of racial profiling of all time. The story goes that she was walking through her neighborhood with her children and she thought that a silver truck was following her. So, feeling scared, she walked up to a house, started ringing on the doorbell, trying to get in, trying to get somebody to help her. The truck pulled into the driveway. The man driving asked, "Are you looking for somebody?" She questions the man, saying, "Do you live here?" He says, "Yes." She says, "I don't believe you." And she runs away screaming for help. What was this man doing, you may ask? He was pulling into his own driveway. Yeah, so in what I assume to be like fucking Delulu Land, Ohio. And no, that's not an Ohio joke. I feel the need to clarify that. This really happened in Ohio. This woman thought it was appropriate to walk onto a random person's porch, tell a person in that home's driveway that they don't live here, and then run away screaming through the neighborhood saying that they're in danger, that they need help because, I don't know, somebody used their driveway the way it was intended. It's one of the most clear-cut, hey, look at me, this is what I really am videos of all time, and you're...
Look, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I try to leave what my wife would do out of situations a lot of times. I just let that shit ride, right? Bro, I'm not saying your wife didn't handle it right. She handled it right. I think she handled it beautifully. I'm just telling you how my wife would have cussed that bitch out. If I'd have came in the house and I told Christy, "Hey man, some white lady was just at the fucking door, told me I don't live here," and ran away screaming down the street. First of all, Christy would have said, "What do you mean?" That's her classic shit. Whenever I tell her something unbelievable, it can be the most simplest shit ever, but if it's unbelievable, she's gonna say, "But what do you mean?" It was a white lady on our porch. I pulled into the driveway. She asked me, "Do I live here?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I don't believe you." She took her baby out of the stroller and she took off running and screaming. When she came back on this bullshit she was on, my wife would have cussed her out. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We're about to see it, so let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
We need to. What's going on?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get the baby out of here. She don't turn the brake on or nothing, nigga. Time for no fucking brakes, nigga. Come here. Shit, it's a nigger. It's a nigger.
Do you live here?
Yes, ma'am, I do. How are you?
Yeah. You do? Papa. I don't believe that.
Can you imagine?
Wait, what? What you mean?
Imagine coming home after a long day at work and you see somebody unloading their fucking children at your front door and you get out of your car, you roll down your window, whatever, and they ask, "Hey, do you live here?" Obviously, you say yes. They hit you with a, "You do?" And then they fucking tell you they don't believe you. What do you do in that situation? That's not a situation anybody's ever been in. The gall of this woman is insane. Just walking up to a random house and questioning everybody that wants to come in. I mean, oh my God. It's genuinely hard for me to believe people like this exist sometimes.
I don't believe that. So what are you doing here?
That nigga said, "Well, what are you doing here?" Real shit, nigga. Exactly, nigga. Ask this bitch. "Well, bitch, what the fuck are you doing here?" My favorite part is the stroller crash. That's an expensive ass stroller too, nigga. That shit was, that is not no cheap ass stroller. Just be tumbling off the side of the porch.
All right, so on the off chance.
Help! So imagine you standing there, you confused as fuck. This white bitch has just ran off and left her stroller on your porch. You trying to figure out, this bitch just rob us? Is my wife okay? And then all of a sudden you hear this bitch scream out, help! I don't know what the fuck I'd have done, bro. Like, he's probably like, wait, is that a fucking stroller? Because that was probably out of his view. He's like, wait, is that a fucking stroller?
All right, so on the off chance, like the 1% chance that this lady actually convinced herself that she was being followed and she didn't see who was in the truck, this had nothing to do with race, this would not be funny. Fortunately for us, I can almost guarantee you that's not the case. This lady witnessed literally nothing but a black man hop out of his car in his own driveway, and that was enough to send her screaming through the neighborhood, running away with her children. Obviously, like the societal implications of that, not very funny. It's insane that people like this still exist. What's funny is getting to learn that a person this stupid exists on planet Earth.
Well, you were driving slow through the neighborhood. Well, it's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit through here. There's all types of signs of don't speed. Kids are playing all types of shit. Yeah, so that's why I was driving slow. And plus, I was approaching my house. Why would I be driving regular speed to pull into my house? Like, I don't know what the fuck had her tripping like this, nigga. This bitch is doing the 40-yard dash with her baby, nigga.
Did someone come here?
Learn that a person this stupid exists on planet Earth.
Nigga. Yeah, the perk 30 done kicked in, nigga.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. She got somebody chased her up here. And she had kids.
Who chased her?
And then you hear he come up. So remember all of this shit when she get ready to lie. This nigga like, hey, yeah, she said some nigga was chasing her. This nigga ain't took one step. This nigga, he's confused. He low-key trying to tell his wife, man, I swear I ain't fucking that bitch. I don't know that bitch. No, I ain't fucking her. She rang the damn doorbell, Mike. I'm tired of this shit with all these hoes. Yeah, that might have been that Molly water. Rob, what's happening?
Somebody in the silver truck.
Gray truck. And he came around the corner, and I was in the street, and so I come up and I pick up my kids, and so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate.
Okay, so look, I've talked about this before in similar sort of videos. As a man, I recognize that I cannot.
Like, I'm glad her husband didn't come up on no goofy shit, cause then I would have had to slide your ass. You not coming on my motherfucking property. Telling me I chased your dumb ass wife.
Fully relate to all of the struggles that women go through, the day-to-day things that women have to think about that the average man just doesn't. So look, I can recognize that walking down the street as a woman at night with your children, you likely experience more stress than a man does. Okay.
Why are you walking out on the street at night with your children? Am I missing something?
Okay. However, if a person driving through your neighborhood makes you this nervous, makes you this scared, maybe it's time to move where other people don't live. Or maybe it's time to just stay inside, like, for good. She admits here that he wasn't even doing anything. He just turned onto the street that he lives on.
Like, first of all, you shouldn't have your kids out at night like that. But let's say you do. I can't understand you having your kids out like that and being this scary at the same time. You would think if you this scary, you would make sure to not be out at night like this. That's the part that blew me about this from Jump Street. I'm like, why are you out this late with your fucking kids and this scary? The little girl was never even scared at all. She just
and that was enough to elicit this reaction from her. That is not normal. I'm sorry. That's a little much.
And he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope." And then he sat here and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why.
Yeah, he live here, bitch. That's why he was sitting here. He's wondering what the fuck you doing.
He lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there was a lady screaming, and I'm like, that's.
She got all worried.
This is where Christy would have cussed her out. I ain't gonna hold you.
How?
I'm sorry.
How did he scare you though?
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, "Are you looking for somebody?" Because I was pulling up out.
And I saw someone walking in our driveway too, and I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
It's genuinely.
Like, this bitch is wild. And she's sitting there being frantic, talking about she's scared. That nigga like, scared of what, nigga?
And then he sat here and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there was a lady screaming, and I'm like, that's.
She got all worried.
Scared the crap out of me.
How?
I'm sorry.
How did he scare you though?
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, "Are you looking for somebody?" Because I was pulling up out.
And I saw someone walking in our driveway too, and I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
And she like, why would you ever think there was something wrong with me? Bitch, you trespassing.
It's genuinely just insane to me how some people view the world. Like, she's actually sitting here defending herself.
I can't help you with that, ma'am. You on my property, so what was I supposed to do? When I saw you, I was just supposed to drive past my house and circle back later? Like, what is it that I was supposed to do? Like, you putting shit on me. What could you have done different, ma'am? Because you telling me there's something I could have done different when all I did was show up to my house. And I didn't get out on no bitch, who the fuck are you? The fuck you doing in my yard? This nigga got, are you looking for someone? You live here? Yes. I don't believe that. What? Help! Help!
Absolutely no right to be defending this, saying she was scared. She had no real reason to be. She is describing what has got to be like a top 10 most normal thing of all time. A person driving through a neighborhood? I don't think that it can possibly get any more normal than that. Like, maybe breathing is above that, but people existing in the places that people live, it's pretty normal. For her to never even think, you know what, I'm like on somebody's porch right now, I'm banging on somebody's door, ringing their doorbell, maybe I'm the one who's acting strange. For that thought to never even cross her mind, pretty telling.
All right, sorry.
She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
You came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here.
Yeah.
And I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
So this nigga's doing the shit that everybody do. When the Christmas lights in they hood go up, you may take that drive down the street a little slower. You might even go all the way past your house to the end of the street and double back to see all the lights, you know, like we did.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with 2 kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? And I was like,
okay.
Oh, no. Bitch, you got the game fucked up. What you mean? What you mean you didn't say this was my house? No, bitch, you asked me if I stayed here and I said, see, this is when I know she on fuck shit. This is when I know you on fuck shit. You lying. Yeah, that's all I hear is victim noises. That's all I fucking hear. This lying ass bitch. You didn't say this was my house. What?
a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? And I was like,
Okay, so now we're just making shit up. Again, admitting that you see a car in your neighborhood and you immediately think you're about to die, that's not good, okay? You should really look into that and figure out why that is. I don't care who you are, that's not normal. And he actually did say that this was his house, and you said, I don't believe that. Like, it's just insane to watch people like this.
No, this is like, this is a level past Emmett Till. See, the legend of Emmett Till is he actually said something to that bitch. He actually allegedly whistled whatever, some type of flirty thing. He didn't flirt with her at all. He's not even being accused of that. What she's accusing him of is he didn't claim ownership of his house correctly for her to not run down the street screaming for help.
Who seem to just sort of like create their own reality as they go. Just whatever they think is real, that's what they're going with.
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, I don't think you do.
My sister in Christ, it's a weird situation that you yourself created the entirety of. Like, what do you mean? It's not a weird situation at all. A man was driving through his neighborhood and pulled into his driveway. The only weird things about
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to give you some type of something, lady. But when you boil down to it, niggas, like, I don't understand what somebody can do differently. When think about where all of y'all that have drives and y'all drive home. Think about you driving down the street like you always do. And on that rare occasion, you pull into this happened to everybody. You've pulled into the driveway and somebody's on your porch, whether it's somebody you know or somebody trying to sell something or whatever the fuck. And imagine it going left. I don't know what he could have did differently. He didn't have the music blaring. He wasn't brandishing a firearm. He wasn't combative. He didn't try to fuck. I mean, I don't. What else could he have done?
This situation are the things that you yourself did.
You can tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like, I'm pulling in my, it's like I'm pulling in my house. Like, this neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio. You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why we moved out here, bitch. And it's like one of the best neighborhoods in all of Ohio. Like, if it was like you trying to say it was, we would have been moved.
I'm very sorry. I really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, baby, go in the house. Let's go.
You told me that I didn't. You said you didn't think I lived here.
It was the way that you were talking. I was so caught off guard. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, saying it was the way you were talking is code word for I saw you were black. Like, come on. Let's be honest. You're on the man's porch. He asks, are you looking for something?
And y'all know I try to be fair on the race issue, but I'm going to tell you why I truly believe it was because he was black. Y'all know it's rare for me to I think it's warranted in this case, and I'm going to show you.
Somebody, and that makes you think he doesn't live there? That's like the most appropriate response for a homeowner seeing somebody with their entire family on their front porch. I mean, like, I think at this point, it would have just been less offensive for her to say, yeah, so I saw that you weren't white, so I just kind of assumed I was in danger. Whoopsies. That's what she's saying anyways. She's just tiptoeing around it. Now, after this blew up, this lady released like a 20-minute long video on Facebook, which I'm super sorry, but we're not going to be watching it because, well, it's 20 minutes, where she doubles down on everything.
Look, I don't have the 20-minute version, but I do got a lot of it, right? And it's something she said where I was like, oh man, race was involved. I'm fair, but I'm firm.
Following her, chasing her, following her is what I said. I use the word chasing. Following me. And so she said, I jumped out of the car and I said, I'm so sorry. I said, literally, I was pretending that your house was my house. I was walking up the driveway and then I was like turning in. I was pretending that it was yours. And she goes, yeah. that was my husband. And so he ends up coming out and he's like, I told you this was my house. And at that point, I literally started, I said, I'm so sorry. I said, I am so sorry.
Not the cap.
No, you didn't.
And I told him, I said, sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. And then I said, this is your house. That was my words. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, this is your house. I said,
Not the cap.
I truly kept thinking, like, maybe this is his house. Maybe this is his house. And he says, well, I told you this was your house. And I said, you have to understand. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was such an awkward encounter. I said, the truck was like starting to slow behind me. And I'm out here with my little girl and my son. And I said, I'm a mom and it was dark. And he said, but I told you that this was my house. He says, I was driving slow because I was looking at my Christmas lights. And once again, I said, I am so sorry.
Not the cap.
And they truly, they did not take my apology. And that night, I went home. And so if you guys saw on Instagram, I shared the story twice. The only reason that I shared the story is because I was heartbroken and it was a really scary night. I've always shared everything on Instagram. And so that night.
Have you heard of the Lady's Edge? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. The Lady's Edge is a women's fitness plan type of diet plan type of shit ran by her. Okay. Ran by her. Okay. I want you to pay attention to how she acts in this video and remember this because I got a video of her responding to people calling her out about the Lady's Edge.
After that whole instance happened, I literally was sitting on the steps, first of all, and John kept trying to talk to me. I kept telling him I was so sorry. And I've never, just the panic. I literally could not come down from this like fight or flight. From the time that I was at the woman's house to literally 30 seconds later, telling the woman that I was just followed to the man stepping out on the front porch and it being his house. It was like all of these different emotions. And so I'm sitting at home, literally.
I don't understand how you have all these emotions just from somebody pulling into their house, getting out of their car.
Like having this meltdown. And I kept telling John I was so sorry. Like I felt really stupid. And so on the way home, I forgot to say that the cop was driving around our neighborhood. And I'm getting all these messages, I'm so sorry. The cop was driving around our neighborhood and I stopped him. We stopped him and I jumped over, rolled the window down and I said, I am so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was his house. It was a misunderstanding. I'm so.
So you were screaming for help because you knew a cop was patrolling the area? You try to get that nigga killed.
Sorry. He was like, it's okay. I'm glad everything's fine. I was like, yes, it's fine. So I ended up, we went home. And that night when I got home, I had tears and I was making a cup of coffee. And if you guys know me, I
don't.
Everything on Instagram. I talk all the time. It was an innocent mistake. I felt really stupid. I absolutely was crushed I felt like they thought I was stupid. I already felt stupid. I truly felt stupid.
You are.
Like I said to them on the porch, like I kept thinking like maybe this is his house. And then like I'm running and screaming at the top of my lungs.
While she's thinking this might be his house, she's running and screaming for help all at the same time.
And so, yeah, like I felt dumb for sure. So I went on Instagram in my story. I still have it archived and I like have tears and I'm making a cup of coffee. And I said, I was like, man, you like talk about a night. I'm like, man, my night just completely took a left turn.
Oh, fuck your night. You caused all of this. You are not the victim. Hey. Michelle Bishop, you are not the victim. You really talking like you the victim in all of this.
And I was like, you know, super scary. I was like, I'll have to fill you guys in later. So I went live that night. And then I went live again the next morning. And I have to tell you guys, I have been on social media long enough to know that there's a lot of scrutiny. And so by me going live, I did not think that I was doing anything wrong. I was sharing the story of what happened, better safe than sorry, how scary it was, just what I went through. Like, that's the only reason that I went live. At the end, I talked about how I felt stupid and how this couple, twice I apologized and nothing came of it. And so, yeah, that crushed me.
Why are you so hung up on, so since you apologized to them, you really want something from them? What do you want from them? To tell you it was okay? No, it ain't okay.
I feel really stupid. So that is the story of that night. Many of you guys were on those lives, and so you guys know the exact emotions and state that I was in. So we are here. And it wasn't until about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little less than that, that John was sitting in the living room, and he called me the day prior, and he asked me a question about, did you ever say, he said, did you tell the woman that he was black? And I said, no, I told her that I thought he was a young white man. He's like,
church out. That's when I knew race had something to do with it. For me personally, that's when I knew race had something to do with it. You saw this nigga. Why would you tell them that was a white man when you know you didn't see no fucking white man? You saw a dark-skinned white man with dreads. That's when I was done. She had no more benefit of the doubt. Because I was like, why lie about this? Why? I mean, we know he black. You know he black. And so now you like, oh, I can prove that it wasn't about race. I told everybody that it was a white man chasing me. You lying bitch. Who the fuck you think you talking to? Nah, bro, I can't. That's where she lost all benefit of the doubt with me. When she was like, yeah, I told him it was a white man. Why would you tell them that when you saw the motherfucker face to face? Why would you say that? Because it sounds better that you ran from a white man? Stop, bro.
I thought so. And I was like, that was really weird that he called and asked me that. So the next morning, I was doing my morning reading, and he sits down in front of me, and he's like, we have to talk. And so he told me that there had been a letter floating around our neighborhood that had been posted in our mailroom that had said something about a racist profiling in the neighborhood. And so, of course, you throw racism into the mix, it gets really yucky. And that was the furthest thing from what it was.
Was it really, though? You saw a scary nigga, bro. See, this is where I be believing shit, because you can't even keep it a buck. If you were saying shit like, yeah, he looked like a scary black man to me. If he looked like a scary white man, I'd have ran then too. But when you sitting here trying to be like, this, I didn't even think the nigga was black. Like, this is doing more harm.
To the point of literally, we have a handwritten letter from the woman's house that I went to. I'm trying to get the Ring doorbell footage of me standing on the porch telling John when he asked, are you sure it wasn't a black man? And I said, I think it is a young white man.
That doesn't prove anything to me. Even if they got footage of you saying it, you lied to them on purpose. Because you didn't want to tell people that you was running from a black guy because it would make you sound racist. Just keep that shit a stack.
She wrote a letter. She was like,
it's just so you know, it's okay as a white woman to find some black people scary. It's all because you can find, and the reason why I say it like that is because you can find anybody scary. Anybody can catch you off guard in a moment and you find them scary. An old ass lady, if she sneak up on you the right way in the fucking store, you go damn near sock her ass. So that's why I'm like, you not even keeping the shit a buck. You saw that nigga hop out with his dreads. You thought he was slow crawling up, and you saw them dreads and shit. You thought that nigga had a Glock with a switch on it. So you ran, nigga.
I'm happy to speak on your behalf. You absolutely told me that you thought it was a white man. And so we had 2 days in a row, the letter was posted in the mailroom saying that there was a racist profiling, not mentioning our name, but it was in reference to that night. It was taken down 2 times. And then I believe there was an email sent to our HOA.
You can never be too careful, especially when you're alone with your babies. Anyone who can't understand or empathize, hey, Audrey, shut your stupid ass up, bitch. Don't take your kids out at night if you this scary, period.
Then asking for this letter to be sent to all the residents in our community. And after a video was sent of me, they decided to not share the message to the whole neighborhood.
We're allowed to say what race, for gosh sakes. Yeah, but she lied about it though, my nigga. And your name is actually Karen? Look, you probably should just sit this one out.
And so maybe 4 days ago, both videos of me, praise God, the other one, the one of me apologizing, was posted as well, which I do appreciate the transparency there. But once again, the videos were posted in our neighborhood page, attaching racism and profiling to my name wasn't said, but the video was very.
But here's where you missing me though. You understand that people are allowed to. You remember you said that it was cool when they posted your side. So when they posted your apology, that shit's cool. But when they give their side of the story and say that we feel like we around somebody who racial profiling people, then no, people can't give their side of the story unless it makes you look good. Like this, I don't understand how she's the victim in all of this. I just don't get it.
Very clear of me on the Ring doorbell with my daughter, with me looking at the man saying, "Is this your home?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "I don't believe that it is." And because of those words came out of my mouth, and because he was a black man, I have been pointed as being racist. Although
you don't get it though. Like, here's my thing. Maybe you ain't really racist or whatever, right? Maybe you not. But why are you pretending that you don't get why people are calling you racist when a black man came to his house and you told him he didn't live there and you took off running, screaming at the top of your lungs for help? Why are you playing dumb as to why anybody would call you a fucking racist? It's one thing for you to try to push back against said narrative. You're not even trying to push back against the narrative of being racist. You just like, you don't get why anybody would say this to you. White friends, you better learn from this. Yes, you can do some shit where people gonna think you, bro, niggas, just so y'all know, just because white people don't say it out loud, there's stuff that you could do where white people will think you racist. But you know it though. But you know it though. You just don't. Either you care or you don't. My whole thing with her is she's just sitting here like, I don't know why anybody would call me a racist. Are you serious? Man, let me get some water, bro. This bitch, she can't be. Honesty is always the best policy. Always. All you had to do was say, I was out a little too late with my girls. And since it was dark, or with my kids, because one was a boy and one was a girl. And since it was dark, I got kind of scared when this truck or car or whatever was rolling up what I felt like was slow. So I went to ring the doorbell just to get somebody to come to the door. They pull into the driveway. A black man hops out. And I was scared that he was going to do something to me and my kids. So I grabbed my kids and I ran. Only to find out that he was telling me the truth when he said that was his house. I did not believe him. And the reason I didn't believe him is because I felt like he was driving up behind me slow while I was walking through the neighborhood. I'm so sorry. You have turned this into a whole bunch of shit it didn't need to be. BB, what's happening? Just tell the truth.
It was very dark.
And you gotta understand, yes, some people are gonna find your behavior racist. You can't control what everybody think, number one. Number two, if you got some black friends, you need to be hitting and making sure they cool. Because you fucked up. You fucked up real good. Because I guarantee if you got some black friends, they looking at you just a little different. Because it's like, okay, I understand all that until the point where you running screaming for help. I don't understand that part.
Yeah, so, and like I said, I truly, like 60 seconds later, ran to the woman's house and I told her that I thought he was a younger white guy.
You're lying. You lying. When I believe that you told him that, but you're lying. You knew that was a fucking black dude.
So the neighborhood, yes, it was posted on the neighborhood page. I've had some neighbors who have been very, very gracious and have reached out to us, and they know that the integrity of my family, that is not who we are. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of other people who have kind of rallied behind what's happening. And so the pages...
So if it was a white man, these people would be okay that are claiming racist? So sick. You're gaslighting, Jordan. See, your white friends in the comments aren't helping. They're making it worse. Nobody said that it would be okay if she was in fear of her life from a white man. People are questioning if she would ever find herself in that type of fear. You're gaslighting. Nobody is saying that they would be okay with her getting fucked up by a white man. Stop.
Crazy. There's been a lot happening within our neighborhood. The posts were taken down. I never requested the post to be taken down. I did go into our neighborhood Facebook page and I went live and I publicly apologized to the homeowners once again. And I will also... I try, like, truly, like, if there's anything that I can apologize.
And is that a knot on your head that your husband sock your motherfucking ass for this goofy shit you've been doing?
Or I will. There was never racial intent. Ever. What I will apologize for is sorry for sharing the story of me being scared. I could absolutely be slower to speak. There was, I was truly just sharing the story. And so I'm sorry that I didn't necessarily think about your heart and the way that maybe could have hurt your heart. But it was never to the neighborhood. It was me just sharing the story about a man and being a woman and my babies and the whole thing. And if you guys don't know, because I think it's important to say it, there has been multiple instances where I have actually not these scenarios, but I've actually been pursued. And there was the man in Houston that I shared about as well. And that's why I just love to give context. I love to share. I just more so like as a mom, like in those lives, I said I wouldn't undo what I did. The way that I acted, the way I reacted, I would do it 1,000,000 times over because
I'm losing my motherfucking mind, man.
So what were you apologizing for, really, if you would just do all this shit over again? So what were you said you publicly apologized. So what did you apologize for if you literally just told me you would do this shit 1,000,000, not just one more time over, you do this 1,000,000 times over. If you saw a black man hop out of his car at the crib, you would run down the street screaming for help. Like, oh man, look, I got to give you the advice I give everybody. Turn that fucking phone off. Some of y'all niggas got to start turning his phones off. Turn that phone off.
what if that really would have happened?
On your grand quest to prove that this had nothing to do with race, you doubling down and saying, but what if? But what if? and her the comments on the screen is making it 1,000,000 times worse. She knew where to go with this shit. Remember, she told you she publicly apologized on the group, but then she went live over here with her homies.
When I was in Houston, Texas, I had a sex offender, a registered sex offender, profile us. He knew where I lived. He knew what time my husband went to the gym. He knew what car my husband drives.
I need some more context. So a registered sex offender knew what time your husband went to work. How, Sway? What is he? So a registered sex offender just randomly picked you and learned all your habits, include what time your husband went to work.
I'm losing my motherfucking mind, man.
Chloe, what's happening? No, she didn't just say that.
In Houston, Texas, I had a sex offender, a registered sex offender, profile us. He knew where I lived. He knew what time my husband went to the gym. He knew what car my husband drives. And he came to my house when my husband was gone. And I was in Houston, Texas, and I was followed 20 minutes.
He came to your house when your husband was gone and did what? Is that the story that you told your husband when he caught you cheating on him? Because none of that shit makes sense. The nigga knew when your husband went to work and decided to just roll up on you when he went to work. But he was a registered sex offender. Like, either you making this whole story up or you lied to your husband about what really happened, because that shit don't make no sense. And what the fuck's this got to do with you running down the street screaming help? Did you do that in that situation?
When I was in Houston, Texas, I had a sex offender, a registered sex offender, profile us. He knew where I lived. He knew what time my husband went to the gym.
Why would a registered... what was his sex crime? What was his sex crime? And why was he targeting you? Just randomly?
He knew what car my husband drives, and he came to my house when my husband was gone. And I was in Houston, Texas, and I was followed 20 minutes home, and my car was broken into when I was at the store. And when I was a little girl,
No, what happened when he came to your house? You just like kind of hopping over shit. You said the husband was at work, he came to the house. What happened? No tears either.
had a man banging on our door and helicopters hovering over our home. So, did I overreact? Yeah, maybe a little bit.
A little bit? You awake? What's happening? A little bit? Bitch, you ran down the street screaming, help. You know how many times somebody screams for help in their lifetime for real? Like running down the street screaming for help. That's not even something people do a lot of times in their lifetime. you sitting here like, I don't think you did it in a situation where it was not warranted even a little bit. Your neighbors should be praising you for trying to protect them and being vigilant, not profiling you. But what if the police came over there and shot that nigga up though? What if her husband went over there and tried to fight that nigga or shoot him or something? No, I'm not giving her no pat on the back when we are just thankful to the Lord that her chain of events didn't lead to somebody getting hurt. She could have got her husband hurt. What if her husband would have came back on some shit? What if the black dude had a strap in the house and just shot her husband before he even really said anything? The husband could have been over there on some people. You could have got your husband murdered. And you sitting here, you done made a huge ass mistake, and you should be thanking the Jenkins family for not motherfucking, bro. If they really wanted to call you a racist, nigga, trust. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers that love to talk to the Jenkins family and let them call you whatever the fuck they want to call you. You whining about some little neighborhood messages, it could be way worse. I'm just telling you, it could be way worse.
But I showed up at the door and I said that I was sorry 2 times. People are going as far as saying they're not genuine apologies, that I'm out to get them for whatever reason.
Bitch, you came back to the house and lied though. You sat here and was like, you should have told me that this was your house. He's like, bro, you asked me did I live here and I said yes.
That is, I don't know how it could be twisted that way when I literally thought he was a white man.
Bitch, are you for real?
How did you think that nigga was white? Like, come on, girl. Like, you gotta do better than this. I'm not just giving you that. You can't just tell me that and I'm going for it.
So I knew it wasn't going to stop there, but the Facebook page stuff was deleted. Not me ever asking for any of it to be deleted. I made a public apology to them through the video to a whole Facebook page of almost 500 residents in our neighborhood.
Wow.
And then I posted in the comments multiple times when people were just saying, like...
Here's the thing you don't understand. You don't even understand why you going viral right now. The main reason why you going viral is because your complete lack of accountability while swearing that's all you're doing is taking accountability. You're literally crying, not out of you being hurt for what you did, but you're not even crying. There's no tears. It's just full victimhood, victim noises and victimhood. And this is you trying to prove to me that you're being accountable. The fuck out of here. Morgan, what's happening, cuz?
Disgusting and just tearing down our family's name. I once again came on and I said, if there's ever an opportunity to reconcile, like, I will. I'm so sorry I could have ever offended you. And so I've absolutely apologized multiple times. It's not been accepted. So now I woke up today and John starts sending me screenshots of people going on all of my social media channels. And I had to make my pages private. On one of the videos of us talking about opening our store, there were over 360 comments, some of which absolutely were from our members, but I would say over 300 of them within a 10-minute span were from people coming to absolutely attack us, saying anything.
No. Why are you saying us? This is what the stupid R word does. Don't listen to all that crap. Karen, you should shut up. You're not helping. You sound real hard on the phone, Karen.
Sound real hard on the phone, nephew.
You sound, bro. just because racism can be overplayed does not mean that the word shouldn't exist and there's no racism. Like, you can look, we got to cut that out. Everything ain't racist, but to say there's no racism is, come on, both are just as ridiculous. Both are just as ridiculous. Everything's case by case. And you made this a race issue. You sitting here lying. You trying to convince me that you didn't think this nigga was. How could I have thought it? How could this have been against because he was black? I thought he was actually white.
And everything you can imagine, from hating on my faith, tying that to racism and me not being who I say I am, to my family to be on a lookout, to our business is destroyed, to you can imagine everything that's being said.
Why do you care? You just told me you would do this 1,000,000 times over, though. This is what comes with that. This is what comes with that. And you ain't learned from it. You said you would do this 1,000,000 times over. So I don't really want to hear you complain. I don't really want to hear you complain. Now, you see how she's full victim mode. So yeah, maybe there was a race element to it, right? But I think there's a bigger element. This bitch don't like taking accountability for shit. I found a live that this bitch had where she's basically on the exact same shit except she ain't fake crying. And it's all because she got called out about her program.
What is up, everybody? Hey. I'm going to wait a quick second for y'all to get on. It's been such a great day.
Hold on, what was those comments? Not they talking about they was gonna beat her up. Michelle Bishop, I don't have to talk. I've said what I feel. I'm just protecting those who can't protect themselves. I was already smoked. Michelle Bishop, I'm not fighting you on this or agreeing with you on this from an insider point.
I'm going to wait a quick second for y'all to.
Katie Marie, she's being bullied, plain and simple. We all need to realize that this video is bad.
Get on. It's been such a great day. Tarek is sending me some fun stuff right now. I'm so sorry if I'm swiping up. I'm getting rid of text coming through.
Nah, you blocking niggas talking shit. Go ahead, liar.
But happy Monday. We are like 5 weeks out from Bish Bash, and my head is just exploding. But I want to come on here and talk with y'all. What's up? There you guys are. Hello. And I want to address something. And so, I actually was debating whether I should come in the sisterhood and talk, or if I should bring it to TLE. And the only reason being is because I haven't been super blunt with you guys. And the sisterhood, which is, full of mostly lifers, they've been around since day one. And a lot of them really know my heart. And
where have we heard that before? Talking about motherfuckers really. If you know me, you really know my heart. This is what she's saying. She's saying the same shit that she was saying about the King or the Jenkins family. Without crying, without the fake crying. This is like the same shit.
They know my intentions, and most of the time, I don't have to question my words. I'm something that I'm a recovering people pleaser, if you will. And so, a lot of times, it's cold out here, but I came out here.
That's one of the biggest lies that people tell. I'm a recovering people pleaser. First of all, that's a WPS lie. A recovering people pleaser.
Because I want to be inside. But I'm a recovering people pleaser. And so a lot of times when I say stuff, especially like hard, tough love, I always worry that my words come out wrong and that I offend people. And so right now I'm like praying that away and casting that fear away, because I'm going to talk from a place of love to you guys, but also from a place of total transparency. And so if you guys are on board with this, give me love, because I need some courage here to talk to y'all. But so recently, actually John was the one that encouraged me to say something, because he was gonna make a post. And, you know, recently I had a gal, you know, I'm not going to say names or anything because I'm not even going to, you know, give it attention. But I want to talk on.
But you're giving it attention. I hate when people say that. I don't want to give it attention. If you don't want to give it attention, that means you don't talk about it. You can say, I didn't want to give it attention, but you can't say, I don't want to give it attention. And you can't be like, I don't want to. I'm just not going to say the person's name because I don't want to give it attention. But you're still giving it attention, even if you don't say the name.
On, you know, in regards to just stuff of that nature. Thank you for the love. But she made a post and she literally said that TLE has caused her to gain 23 pounds. And it was a very harsh post.
This is the same shit she was crying about in the race shit. It's just something different. It's all, her ego is so fucking fragile. Just for the record, she makes people do testimonials for her fucking shit. So she's got multiple testimonials on her fucking channel for this shit. So imagine you got like 200 testimonials and then you got one motherfucker that posted, yeah, I ain't really like the shit. I tried the shit and that made me gain 23 pounds. Instead of you sitting here going that either A, she ain't do everything like I said, B, she's just a fucking hater, or C, her body just ain't for this. No, you gonna say the exact same shit you were saying about Jenkins then when they called you a racist in the group. There were some posts made about, it's like, bro, you gotta get off the fucking phone. That's what you crying about. You taking a whooping on social media because everybody calling you a fucking racist. But this is the same shit you doing here. You crying because some people didn't like your shit.
And something, you know, this girl, you know, is a lifer. Yeah, she's a lifer. I'm just like, you know, and recently, you know, she, you know, messaged me and yada yada, and we had a great conversation via, you know, Instagram. And I thought everything was good. And then, you know, she put a post on Facebook and Instagram bashing TLE and saying that this
First of all, when a motherfucker uses the word bashing, I have to be careful. Because 9 times out of 10, when a nigga say somebody's bashing them, it really means somebody told the truth on me. And it's a truth that I don't like. It's a truth that embarrasses me. So I'm always leery of that word bash.
Program has caused her to gain 23 pounds and yada, 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 and just, you know, really pooping on me. And then saying, you know, the leader.
That shit's gonna happen.
You know, me telling her, you know, it's a process, and really twisting, you know, how I reached out to her and how I said it, and it came from a very loving place. And
you hear what this bitch said? This bitch is like, since I reached out to her and talked to her, she should have gave me a positive review on my product. Well, just because you did that part doesn't mean that her overall experience, like, so you want people to lie about your product so nobody can feel bad if they don't like your product. And you saying it's not, so you saying your product has 100% success rate. No, there will never be anybody that do exactly what you say and it just doesn't work for them. That's what you're saying? You're fucking crazier than I thought.
Unfortunately, I tried to give her some perspective and love on her post, and she's blocked me. And so with that being said...
right, because you starting to act crazy. I would have blocked you too.
It's as far as I'm going to go into that. What I wanted to come on here with you guys and say is... within TLE, like, I'm just going to be super blunt. You guys, since day one, I have shown up with you guys every day.
Okay.
Every day. I'm here with y'all. I give you, you know, the best that I can of my 23 minutes every day.
Okay.
I've given you overall guidance with nutrition. I've given you the tools. I have never once told you what to eat. I've never once told you to excuse yourself.
I never once told you what to eat. I never told you to excuse yourself. So if you didn't tell them what to eat, so it is possible that you can gain that type of weight on your program. Okay, go ahead.
And that eating whatever you want, whenever you want, and just treating your body like junk's acceptable. I've never said that. That's never been part of my message.
Right.
In our manifesto, what we stand behind within TLE is that we fuel our body with the best, but we eat cake and cookies too. And when I tell you...
we fuel our body with the best, but we eat cake and cookies too. with that motto, you telling me you don't see how somebody could gain 23 pounds on the program?
Guys, that within TLE it's a process. What I mean by that is that if this girl in fact gained 23 pounds within TLE, there's one reason why. Two reasons why. Number one, she came into TLE with a poor relationship with food prior, and she has stepped into this program wanting freedom. God love her. God love her. She wants freedom so bad, and I can see it in her posts. I can see it clear as day right now. She's back in the gym. She's, hardcore dieting. She's, posting pictures of her old self, and she's fighting this. Like, I see it, and I get it, and it breaks my heart because when she's, blaming me and blaming the program, I get it. I understand in her heart. Right now, she's wanting to place blame on something because I've been there. I've been so frustrated with...
She is an egomaniac. One person said they gained it on there. And she's like, bitch, don't blame me. Blame yourself.
Not being able to see something.
This is just like her talking about her. This is the same way she was acting with the Jenkins. The only difference is she ain't crying.
Through, and I just want to blame everything other than what the truth is. And the truth boils down to so many of you guys. It's 120% complete and utter ownership is what you guys have to take. You guys have to realize that so many of you, myself included, I came from a place where I was really restrictive. Back in the bodybuilding days, y'all, I worked out for 3 hours a day, 2 cardio sessions a day, very restrictive dieting. I did that to myself. And so if I were to come into Michelle Bishop's program, where Michelle's saying, burn your meal plan and step into 23 minutes a day, guess what? I may gain weight. And I've told you guys that since day one.
So why are you mad that somebody said that they gained weight on the program then? If you told motherfuckers day one that this could happen, why are you mad that somebody said it happened? This bitch crazy, bro.
I've told you guys that stepping into that is scary. Stepping into that and trying to trust yourself, it's scary. And if it doesn't work for you and it's not something you want to do, I've never begged you to stay here and said, you have to stay here. I encourage you and I say, sister, I know it's hard. And I have gone through it and you do not have to walk this out alone. But if not this, then what? And that girl is running back to a hardcore plan. And it breaks my heart because it reminds me of journeys. It truly does, where I so desperately wanted to cling to something. I wanted to cling to a plan. I wanted to cling to something, back to the gym in 2-a-days and, chugging my water. But I stand here today and I literally, there's so many women who are having success, who are finding true freedom. And I stand here and I think, it maybe hasn't worked for you yet, but the 23 pounds that you have gained is a reflection of, number one, the relationship with food that you had prior, that you're trying so hard to step into freedom, but there was a relationship in place with food before that either you're still binging, you're still eating, and you're excusing.
Bro, this is just, bro, you don't take accountability for shit. You don't like being blamed. You got a massive ass ego and it's fragile and you oversensitive. Can't nobody not like anything, and anybody that says anything bad about you, you mad about it, even when they should say something. You see the black man hop out of the car, tell you he lived there. You said he don't live there, run down the street screaming help, and then you trying to act oblivious to why anybody would call you racist from that.
A lot of because life moments, it comes down to what you're putting in your mouth, or secondly, your body is jacked up right now from what you used to do. The overtraining and that you are just reaping the fruits of that. And that is the truth, you guys. I say, if you sow in the flesh, you reap a harvest of destruction. And so when I tell you guys constantly to sow into the good and sow into life and sow into life-giving things and to sow into freedom, that way 3 or 4 years down the road, you're not literally reaping this. I did it. I reaped a harvest of destruction. I sowed for the moment, and I sowed for the flesh, and I sowed for the temporary of what my body wanted, and it was a disaster. Years later, I had to
just like this doorbell shit. Got you.
make up for that. I had to be accountable for that. But I would never jump into a program and say that that program is the reason that I gained 23 pounds. Guys, I never have told you to eat anything in particular. I've given you
One person said this, and she admitted that she started stalking this motherfucker to the point where they blocked her. She contacted him on and everything, trying to get them to take the post down.
a tool showing you protein, carb, and fruit. I've never said every single weekend go take a cheat meal, every single weekend, have because life moments. I say, listen, you are better than this, and you deserve to fuel your body with the good, but when you have a Reese's cup, or you have an Oreo, or you go on a date night, or you want wine, enjoy it. Freaking enjoy it, because tomorrow morning's gonna come, and because you enjoyed it and because there is no guilt, you're gonna get right back on the horse, and you're building a great relationship with food and with yourself, and you're building.
Stop the cap.
You're telling people to eat Reese's cups, and then you're also saying that there's no way that somebody gain weight on your program. Please make it make sense.
Trust. But I just had to come on here and tell you guys, being blunt, and Lord, give me strength.
You always using the Lord in these situations as well.
But when I see TLE sisters liking posts like that,
so now it ain't just that. You clocking the likes. So there's people that are agreeing with this person, and you mad at them too.
Are kind to me one day, and then supporting that the next.
What? So you running a cult. You're running a diet cult.
It breaks my heart. It crushes me. And I am not naive. I'm not naive. And I'm saying this, like I said, I'm not questioning. I know my words, Lord. I know they're going to come out well and good. Hoping you guys are receiving this well.
I am.
But I am not naive to know that there are wolves in sheep clothing. And I am trying so hard to gain strength. When I came back into this world, you guys know that when I left this coaching world, you guys know, I was in it for 4 years, and I left the world because of the women. I did. Being totally blunt, when I first started Bish Bodies, I cried to the girls because I was scared to death of the cattiness and of the drama. But
you seem to be the one that's always at the center of it, though.
I told them, I said, I will not tolerate it. I am coming to create a community of badass chicks who hold themselves to a higher standard. I want, God-fearing women. And if you don't love Jesus, that's okay. I love you too. But I knew the type of women that I wanted to attract. I knew that there's good women out there. I'm not going to just be in fear of having people try to, me being hurt. I'm not going to walk in fear because I know that I have something that so many people need. But right now, today, and this past week, the devil knows that Bish Bash is right around the corner, and that, we are gonna freaking blow the roof off that place. This happened last year, 5 weeks out before the event, stuff happened, and I just,
So God's blessing you with all of this, and you getting ready to let God's blessings for you be derailed because of what one person said?
God's good. I just got an awesome text. I know what's happening. I know we're 3 feet from gold. I know right now that the enemy's trying to distract me. I'm not stupid. The enemy's trying to distract me. But I want you guys to just know that I am addressing this because I'm standing true to my word when I said that I am holding TLE to the highest standard possible. And
are you holding TLE to the highest standard possible when you're running down the street screaming help? I'm just asking.
And it's not tolerated. And I am begging you guys, if you are a sister in TLE and you are here to support this message and you know You know that my word is true, that my word is good, and that I am truly...
This is the exact same shit you did with the Jenkins family. Now here comes the fake waterworks. Let's see if we actually see some tears this time.
Walking this out as fiercely as I possibly can. I'm begging you to stand up for what's right and to not think that I don't see that stuff, and to be who you say you are. And if somebody is being malicious or mean,
fake fucking crying. So don't believe any of that shit in that Jenkins video. That's her shtick. That Jenkins, I've learned that that's actually her shtick.
either don't say anything or stand up for what's right. And it crushes me. I'm like, God, I'm standing here with a lot of courage, and there's still mean people, and so wasn't trying to get choked up on here.
Bitch, are you for real?
I wasn't trying to get choked up on here. I wasn't trying to get choked up on here.
I just love so many of you guys, and when I see people who I love giving a freaking thumbs up or whatever, or commenting with hearts.
I'm supposed to, so even if I believe that you crying, you're crying over somebody making one post about you and a couple other people liking that post. We understand this, right? She be on demon time.
On stuff like that, that's legitimately coming at me and twisting my words. It breaks my heart. And so...
Ain't that what she said? Didn't she say that people were twisting her words in the Jenkins shit? Wasn't she patting her eyes this same fucking way?
Daily, I'm coming to you guys. Typically, this is sisterhood talk because they know me. They know my heart. But I want you guys to know me, and I want you to know what I stand for, and I want you guys to know how much I love this mission and how much I love you guys. And so, damn it, I believe in what we're doing so much. The world isn't going to understand it, you guys. The world is not going to understand it because the freedom that we have found is not of the world. I'll tell you that. And so thank you guys for letting me come on here and be bold. Thank you for letting me call the sisterhood, you guys, to a higher level, because we have got to get out of the season of BCD. We have to get out of a season of living below the line. We need to live above the line. We need to be above the line women. We need to take ownership of everything. If you're not getting results,
everybody's to take ownership except you.
Start showing up for yourself. Stop excusing stuff. Stop putting...
Why don't you listen to your own words?
It off. Stop. It's 23 freaking minutes. Show up for yourself. Push yourself. In the kitchen, push yourself. Stop excusing yourself. And then when you have a moment where you enjoy life, freaking enjoy it and love it. But I am telling you guys, like, unbelievable for somebody to say they've gained 23 pounds within TLE and to just completely blame it on the program without ever...
I've never heard somebody expect 100% customer service satisfaction rate for any product on man. Some people argue what's better, Burger King or McDonald's. There's a lot of people that don't eat either.
Ever taking a look back at the seeds that were planted years ago and the possibility of maybe you're just reaping what was planted years ago. And I guys,
she's a fitness instructor. TLE is the Ladies Edge, her fitness program. And her thing is they do exercise for 23 minutes a day. But one person said they gained 23 pounds on her program. And a couple people liked it. And she had a fucking meltdown. And she's crying and shit, fake crying, playing victim and everything, just like she did when she got caught with the shit she got caught doing. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
The only reason I can say that, it's not from me not trying to take ownership of the program. It's not any of that. It's me simply saying that Michelle Bishop had to be accountable for herself. And I had to take a long time to fix and correct what I did, to my body and to take ownership of the nasty training and the grueling cardio sessions and the intense dieting and all of that. I had to take ownership for that. And that was a rough season for me. But here I stand today, literally in the best shape that I've been in since competing. I am walking proof that this program freaking works. 23 minutes is what I do. I think I've ran once in the last 5 months. I don't even know. Seriously. So I am walking proof of what I believe in and what we're doing, and so are so many other women. And so I'm going to sign off knowing that my message came across pure. I didn't come here to necessarily vent. I came here to be raw and honest with you guys. That today we have to take ownership. Today we have to stop BCDing, stop blaming, complaining, and defending.
This was 5 years ago. This was 5 years before the shit she did. So 5 years ago, you had the answer for how to handle this situation. And you was telling other people the answer, but you forgot it yourself. You can't make this shit up.
You are utterly and ridiculously in control of where you are going. I have simply given you a vehicle. What you decide to do with it is totally up to you. But we have got to call ourselves to a higher standard. Are you guys with me? Yes, I'm following you. I'm literally snotting. Courtney Coots, dude. You wanna see somebody it freaking works for? Look at that chick. Sarah Sibsey, look at that chick.
You do know that it's okay that some people don't like your shit.
Angela, look at that chick. Ashley, I see you. Taylor Vargo and Brad. Taylor, dude, your post, did you see what was going on? Because as I was...
Maybe you should stay in the gym for more than 23 minutes. Because you staying on social media for like the other motherfucking 23 and a half hours of the day.
Going through that and having my little pity party for a second of just in there. Then comes Swoops Taylor with her post.
Y'all niggas all addicted to social media, then y'all take a 23-minute break to work out.
Saying, you take ownership. And I literally read out to John and Terica, and I was like, listen to this chick. That's right, Meg.
First of all, this is the difference between like YouTube and everything else for me. And that's why I don't consider YouTube social media. See, especially if I have YouTube Premium, I can just play the shit in the background. I can do other shit on my phone. I can cast it to the TV, all this shit. Bro, when you watching Instagram Live, you gotta stay on Instagram Live. You can't just like put it in the background, listen to it. Same thing with a Facebook Live. Same thing with a TikTok Live. That should be crazy. That's a massive difference. Because there's a whole next level of attention that has to be had. See, right now, there's people literally at work with me in their ear, phone in their pocket, checking text messages and all this stuff without missing a beat.
Again. I'm out of here. I love you guys so much. I'm not gonna worry if this came out right, but I just had to address it. Thank you guys for having my back. For those of you guys who continuously stick up for the program and the mission, and for those of you guys who have my back, I see it, I appreciate it, and I love you guys so much.
That's why so remember what she said in the other video. She was like, the first thing, she was like, she had already did 2 lives before that live. So as soon as she did the shit, she knew how the fuck she looked. So she ran to get online, to get in front of the shit. And this is her go-to move. Her go-to move is to go live, fake cry, and play victim while not holding herself accountable at all, while swearing that everybody else needs to hold themselves accountable. Remember, she told that nigga to his face, you should have told me you live here. I did, bitch. Bitch, I did. This one was this whole thing with her caught me off guard. Because, you know, I see racist Karen and I'm like, that shit's overblown. Every time somebody's motherfucking white and have a problem with a black person, it's not because they were black. This one's weird when you turn around and tell me that, oh, I went and told the neighbors that it was a white person. But you knew it wasn't. So why would you say that? Like, you knew it wasn't a white person. So I'm trying to understand why you would say that. That's very nefarious to me. Can't quite put my finger on it, but that's pretty nefarious to me. I guess which story we gonna go to next? Let's see. There was something else I thought. Show y'all if I can remember. Hey, nigga, hey, real quick. This is a random question. Random. Have you ever seen the episode of Judge Judy that had B. Arthur on it? First one for yes, two for no. I gotta pull this shit up right quick. I thought this shit was fake to the motherfucker. I was like, what the fuck? I'm telling you, the random shit that be popping up in my YouTube feed sometimes. I don't even know why it would even suggest such a thing. But I have to give the algorithm credit. It knew I would click that motherfucker. The algo knew I would click that bitch. I just sometimes some shit it'll catch me off guard. So I'm like, the only reason I'm gonna click this shit is because it seems like it's fake to me. Like, yeah, let me see what they clickbaiting this to be. Cause like Legend B. Arthur on Judge Judy, I was like, what kind of skit is this? What is this about to be? I thought it was gonna be some type of Mad TV skit or something. The shit comes on, I'm like, well, no shit. Let me do it this way. This way might be a little faster. Might be a taste faster. Pause. April, what do you want? I see how you over there looking at me. The fuck do you want? All right, here we go.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say that I am not and never have been in full agreement with every.
Like, what the fuck? How the fuck did B. Arthur get on? Bro, this is the second most shocking thing. The number one shocking court appearance was, I think it might have been People's Court, where the Mouth of the South, what's that nigga's name? Jimmy Hart. That's who it was. I don't know why I was blanking. That was a total blank. Yeah, Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart was on People's Court or something. Fucked me up. He was suing somebody for some shit.
Everything that PETA has brought about. I am not a vegetarian, although I have done things like trying to get foie gras off the shelves because of the force feeding of animals.
Not you fucking with rich people duck liver.
I do believe in experimenting medically, provided that the animals are not
mistreated.
Yes.
I was like, wait, what? Ike Turner was on Judge Mathis. The third most shocking thing was when Gary Coleman was on divorce court. That was a shocking one for me. I was like, fucking Danny DeVito on, or not Danny DeVito, but Gary Coleman. I was like, is that fucking Gary Coleman? Hold on, I gotta look this Ike Turner shit up. I'm intrigued by that. Y'all gotta give me a second. Wait. This is fake. Hold on. Hold on, nigga. Ike Turner can wait because this is fake. Hold up. Wait a minute. This gotta be fake. Ain't no motherfucker way. There's no way this is real. It's not possible.
Never got the equipment back.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Jerome claims the guitar and effects box were stolen from his car. Now here's Judge Joe Brown.
Everyone rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Joe Brown presiding. Please be seated and come to order. Your Honor, this is the matter of James versus Turner, case number 335.
Thank you, Ms. Holly.
Welcome.
Mr. James, you're suing Mr. Turner. You've alleged that he borrowed one of your guitars and some other assorted equipment and that it was stolen and he has not compensated you for the loss. Is that correct, sir?
Exactly.
Is that right, sir?
This is true, Your Honor.
All right. Tell me about it, Mr. James.
Well, I've been knowing Mr. Turner since around 1985. You know, he's a fellow musician like myself, and he used to hang around the studio, and so we became friends. And,
You know, Rick is so wild and has went so far off the meter. It's shit that I can't even tell you on TV. I mean, you know, for the sake of our friendship, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna bring it up. But trust me, he's went there. He has went where it's like, yo, Rick, man, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You done took this shit too far. And his response is like this. There's no such place. Darkness. Let's go to the abyss, nigga. I'm not with it, man. I don't want to go to the abyss, man. You know what I'm saying? Rick wants to go to the abyss. In fact, he dwells in the abyss. Rick James dwells in the abyss, okay? And he wants company sometimes, you know? And for some reason, he likes to reach out for me. Whenever I'm around, when he wants to go there, he will reach out for me to try to take me to the abyss with him. And I'm not with it, man. I'm not with it. And that's when we end up, you know, tussling or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Nigga, Rick James was on Judge Joe Brown. What the fuck is going on, bro? The weirdest court show cameos ever, bro. Rick James on Judge Joe Brown. That's a step too far. That's a step too far. You know you done fell off when you in there over a guitar and an amp, nigga. Rick James, as big as Rick James was, he in fucking small claims court over a fucking guitar and amp. Over a nigga that he should have known was never gonna pay him.
You know, I show him guitar chords and, you know, help him out, and he, you know, make errands for the group. You know,
You telling me that he thought this nigga was ever gonna pay him some money? This nigga. He was gonna pay you. Choose compassion was happening. K was happening. We in this thing. We wait. We wait. We wait. We wait. Those are replacement buttons. There's no way those are the real buttons that's supposed to be on that shirt. Get mad. Oh, excuse me. All right, so I guess we'll do a little we'll go a little viewer's choice for the next joint. Cause I can go one or three directions. So I guess I'll let y'all tell me which way I should go. First of all, before we even do all of that, hit the like button. 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 Secondly, hit the PayPal Cash App so we hit the $20 goal for this evening. Third, if you are late tuning in, we are still waiting. Judge is still out on our situation. The fact that he didn't just come back today and say, fuck you, go home, is a very good thing for us. So that's where we're at in life. So we waiting. Trust, the moment I get word, I will go live. Suing for a guitar equal drug debt. All right, here are y'all choices. We can talk about the judge's motion, the judge making a decision on Keffe D's motion to dismiss Tupac murder charge. Press 1. Andrew Tate rug pulling his own fan base on the back of the Trump coin. Press 2. Or ASAP Rocky talking about this motherfucker taking this shit to trial. Press 3. ASAP Rocky's a fool. Take that shit to motherfucking try. Yeah. Got about 30 more seconds. Vote. Hit that like button and vote. Full team effort here. Everybody get it. Everybody get in the game. $15 seconds. 15 seconds. All right, let's count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. ASAP Rocky it is. I guess we'll go with what does it look like? Keffe D next. ASAP Rocky, you have the floor.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Jury selection began in the ASAP Rocky assault trial. Rocky entered a not guilty plea to felony gun charges, including 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. He's accused of shooting his former friend ASAP Relly in the hand, grazing his knuckles after an argument in Hollywood, California. Rocky denied a plea deal today at the start of the trial before jury selection, where he would have only had to serve 5 months in jail. And now the prosecutors say if he's convicted and found guilty by a jury, they're going to recommend 10 to 12 years. So he could have got out in like 3 to 5 months if he took this plea deal, but he's putting his balls on the table when he's going to trial. Here's the footage that they have on him right here. I remember seeing this like over a year ago. So this is the argument starting with Rocky and Relly. Apparently Rocky's here, but we'll see. So they're saying the person in the hoodie is Rocky. I don't know why they're saying ASAP. I hate when people call Rocky ASAP. That's been my pet peeve for like 10 years. His name is not just ASAP. Oh wait, that's Relly right here in the hoodie. Did they have it backwards? This is ASAP Relly right here in the hoodie. And there's cornrows. Really does look like Rocky. Kind of damning evidence. And this guy, I forgot his name. That's another ASAP member. So they're pointing out the gun now down below. It's definitely damning evidence, right? So here's the part of the shooting part right here, but obviously very grainy. They're saying Rocky is pulling up the gun right now. This is him, and he shoots and everyone runs. But that's so grainy that it's kind of hard to tell who's who, right? So there's some doubt there for sure, because you can't tell who's who. It's just like 4 blobs running around. But there's also a lot of weird things with this case. Apparently, this guy that got shot in his hand, he never even went to the hospital until the next day. Like, it wasn't a wound that was like a serious, it was like literally a grazing. And he apparently went back to the crime scene himself and picked up the shell casings. Yeah. Bizarre. Here's a video of court today. Shout out Megan Cuniff. I'm going to put her channel down below. She's a really good reporter covering the trial in LA. I think it's going to be streamed on Law and Crime, but we'll see. So this is the whole plea deal offer.
I will be watching that.
I wanted to know, is there an offer from the prosecution to Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what is the offer?
The offer is as follows. Go ahead, counsel. The defendant would plead guilty to count 1, assault with a semi-automatic firearm. It's violation of 245B. And admit the allegation that he personally used a firearm.
So admit that he personally used a firearm and plead guilty to it, clearly.
So he pleaded to those charges. He'd be placed on probation for 3 years with 7 years state prison suspended. He'd have to serve 180 days in the county jail, complete 480 hours of community service, a 52-week anger management program, a gun safety course.
52-week anger management program. He ain't got time for that shit.
And surrender any firearms that he has in his custody.
So a lot of stipulations there, but the main thing is 100.
Like, I kind of, bro, I know y'all said like 5 months. Yeah, y'all said 5 months, but they done put so much shit on him to where a 7-year suspended sentence with these weird ass terms where they gonna be trying to, 52-week anger management program and all this 480 hours of community service. And this is for like a nigga that's like, he be in city to city every night for work. It smells sweet, but that shit is just like backloaded. Like when you start naming all that, it's one thing if you just plead guilty to this, we gonna give you 3 years probation, 5 months. Nah, y'all trying to make me a full-on convicted felon. Then I'm out, but then y'all trying to put these weird ass terms and all this extra shit on me with a 7-year sentence hanging over my head. How free am I really?
180 days in jail.
And this is I gotta go sit down for 5 months. And then once I get out, after sitting down for 5 months, then I get out with 7 years hanging over my head.
3 years probation, 7 years suspended prison sentence. That's a hell of a deal for this type of charge, bro. He allegedly shot someone in an argument in Hollywood, California, grazing them. Clearly, him denying this plea deal here, he thinks they don't have a good case.
And Your Honor, we wanted to make sure that the defendant understood. We've said. How can I do that? I'm going to ask him, is he aware of this offer and how he feels about it?
The judge like, I got it. Calm the f down.
We just wanted to, from the people's perspective, Your Honor, make sure the counsel understands, the defendant understands, that if he's convicted, his max on this case is 24 years.
The max on the case is 24 years. Well, that's cool and all, and that do sound scary. But what's more likely? Him getting 24 years or y'all getting this nigga on some bullshit ass parole violation and him going back for 7? Like, you're not getting, yeah, I hear you. You're not getting 24 years for this nigga shooting a nigga in his hand, grazing his hand. You're not getting that. You're not getting that.
We're going to be asking, very likely.
So the maximum sentence on this case is 24 years. He just said that. 24 fucking years. They're going to be recommending what?
A sentence that's going to be somewhere 10, 12 years in state prison.
Ooh, you lingering 7 over my head after I got to go for 5 months.
60% of you aren't subscribed. Come on, hit the subscribe bell.
And he's going to have to serve, depending on CDCR's different credits, which seem to be changing. Originally it was 85%. They're still serving 2/3. But 2/3 of that time is a lot of time in state prison. We just want to make sure that he is aware and understands for issues later. If he's
Because I will at least get, like, but that's the thing, Rocky. These niggas want to do you. If you gonna turn down this deal, they ready to do you. Just so they can put that, like, you a big game fish they can put on the wall, bro.
convicted and there are issues of ineffective assistance, I didn't understand, I wasn't told, etc., that he's in court understanding that that's what he faces if he's convicted.
Mr. Takapita and Mr. Siegel, did you discuss this offer with your client?
So the state's trying to say, I want to make sure he knows if he's convicted, it's 10 to 12 years in prison. Okay, let's see what Rocky says.
Mr. Mayers, do you agree with that?
Yeah, they spoke to me about it in detail, Your Honor.
Did they fully explain to you what the offer is to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how do you feel about it?
I respectfully decline. Thank you.
Take that shit to motherfucking trial. hey, Rocky, you a bold nigga, bro. But he be on demon time, man. You know he be doing all type of sacrifices and shit like that. So he ain't getting ready. He ain't going to sit down over this.
Did they fully explain to you what the offer is to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how do you feel about it?
I respectfully decline. Thank you.
All right. You understand that you never know what a jury's.
What a legend Rocky is. By the way, Rocky has been one of my favorite artists since literally 2012 when I was in 8th grade. So this is a crazy trial for me. And
Well, shut your young ass up, nigga. Hey, we don't need to hear you dick riding right now. Come on, Cuff.
Followed me on Twitter like 8 years ago because I posted a video on YouTube and he saw it and he put me on his Snapchat and somehow found my Twitter. So I love you, Rocky. Let's keep going.
Oh, nigga, you gay.
If it happens that it doesn't go your way, people who are convicted of this crime, they go in custody and they go to prison. Are you aware of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because you're not going to get any special treatment. You're not your status as an entertainer, your status as the significant other of Rihanna.
Hey, nigga, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about Rihanna, nigga. Come here, rude boy. Come here, rude boy. Nigga, I will put your black ass in jail. Hey, I'm just letting you know, nigga. That shit ain't gonna get you nothing in this courtroom.
That's not going to go to your benefit, and it's not going to go to your harm.
That's all you can ask for.
I'm going to treat you like I would anybody else who's sitting in that chair. So you are aware that if convicted, you'll go in custody, and it's very likely you'll get a significant prison sentence. You are aware of that?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm well aware.
All right. And you,
Putting his balls on the table. He's like, I can win this shit. Take this shit to trial. That's what Rocky's saying right now.
you're not interested in the people's law?
No, Your Honor.
Y'all niggas really want him to take that deal. That's a shitty ass deal, bro.
Okay, then that takes care of it.
So here's some tweets about the whole evidence side of things. You're saying you want to know about the evidence, right? How he's going to get away with this, if he did it, if he didn't do it, whatever. Relly, the alleged victim, waited days to report the shooting. Police couldn't find any shell casings, but Relly went back and found them and gave them to the police. They still don't have his medical records from when he allegedly got shot, and they don't have the gun that was used. Barely visible video evidence of the incident that also didn't show any shooting occur. I mean, technically, I don't know if there's a muzzle flash, but it's 4 people running around. The witnesses are also on ASAP Rocky's side saying no shooting happened. Well, I mean, the witnesses could be biased. It's his boys, you know what I mean? Trying to break up the fight, but I don't know if there's any other witnesses. But yeah, if they haven't found the gun, the guy never even reported the shooting. Like, there's a lot of gray area there. There's a lot of doubt. So I think he could.
Shan, I think they definitely gonna come back and offer him a better deal. Cause he's extremely confident, but I can't even knock him on it because it's like, y'all saying this whole 10 to 12. Just because you say it don't mean that's what's gonna happen. Like, even if he get convicted, you can't, bro, they're not getting ready to put ASAP Rocky in jail for 10 years for shooting somebody in the hand.
Get away with it. So this is a year ago. I made a video on this. His lawyer talks about the evidence right here.
Do you feel like your client was set up to some degree? It seems like that's what you're indicating. Is that part of your defense?
The last question I asked this witness, guys, you'll remember this Relly was, did you ever ask Rocky or any of his associates for millions of dollars to make the criminal case go away? He swore under oath, no, he did not.
You tried to extort Rocky? Yeah, he beating this. They got you on tape trying to extort Rocky. Yeah, he beating this. Easy money.
That's not going to bode well for him in trial.
So millions of dollars to make the.
That's not going to bode well for him in trial. Yeah, they got this nigga on video or something saying that shit.
The criminal case go away. Relly apparently asked for millions of dollars from Rocky to make this shit disappear. It sounds like they have this on video of him asking for this, and he swore under oath that he didn't ask that.
And I'm not going to try the case here either, guys, and with all respect to all of you and you doing your jobs, we'll have our day in court. We look forward to our day in court. I am certain Rocky is going to be vindicated when all this is said and done, without question.
Watch this comment about the gunshot wound right here. It's funny.
Do you think it'd be hard to convince a jury that those aren't bullet wounds on the finger?
That was crazy.
Well, I know they didn't look like bullet wounds to you based on that question.
Do you think it's going to be hard to convince a jury that those are bullet wounds on his knuckles?
I mean, I hit that side podium.
I see a bullet wound right there.
Much worse than that thing, right?
That was crazy.
Definitely not bullet wounds.
That was crazy.
Definitely not bullet.
Nigga, you got you a nice little pro media pit over there.
Well, I don't have to say more. That's why jury's going to come into play here. Common sense is going to prevail, and we're going to get him through this, and he's going to be vindicated. But the evidence we have that they don't know about is going to be devastating.
Yeah, I wouldn't have took the deal either. If this is how my lawyer's talking, why am I taking the deal? Why the fuck are you telling me I'm getting ready to go sit down for 5 months with 7 years hanging over my head? I got to give up all my straps. I got to give up all this, all that.
Would you ever put Mr. Mares on the stand?
Yeah.
Oh, and you a felon.
Yeah, sure.
Is he intending
It's a possibility? No, it's way too early for that, guys. Listen, I've been doing this for 1 or 2 years, so I can tell you that it's not proper or appropriate to make a trial decision like the defendant testifying.
He shouldn't testify for now. But it sounds like he's also going to go the route that the shooting never even happened. Like, that's not even a bullet wound. Who knows? We're going to see tomorrow. Jury selection is going to begin back up tomorrow, or as you're watching this today. But yeah, denied 5 months in jail, boys. Putting his balls on the table. Hit subscribe. I love you guys. Thanks for the support. Peace out.
Shout out to Cuff Boys. Look, this nigga, hey, this nigga, when I first heard the shit, I was like, damn. But then now I'm like, what else was he gonna do? First of all, y'all offered him such a shitty deal. You serve 5 months of a 7-year suspended sentence. You gonna still owe us like 500 hours of community service. Then you gonna owe us a year of an anger management plan. You're gonna be a felon. All like, and then somebody even mentioned, like, you know, he got Rihanna and, you know, they be in and out of the country and all that shit with the kids. So yeah, because even if a jury convicts him of the shit, he's not getting no 10 years. He might get like 2 to 4 years suspended. So looking at all the circumstances, yeah, I don't even think that's that hard of a play. All right, let's get into this Keffe D shit, nigga. Keffe D, when you coming home?
Tactical nuke incoming!
I don't think it would be probation. I think it would be parole. I think he'll be actually on parole. Maybe they'll frame it like some probation, but either way, it's 7 years hanging over your head. Any mistake, you get a fucked up PO or some shit.
Keffe D. It has been a few months since we talked about Keffe D, but he did have an appearance yesterday in court where the murder charge against him was upheld. The trial date for him remains set for March 17, 2025, although that court date has been changed numerous times since Keffe D had been arrested. Now, for those of you who don't know, Keffe was arrested back in September of 2023 and charged with murder in regards to the deadly shooting of Tupac in Las Vegas. Now, he pleaded not guilty to that charge, and initially he was denied bail multiple times due to a bunch of different concerns over the legitimacy of the funds that was offered for his release. Right? Some of y'all might remember the video I made where we talked about WAC 100 trying to put up the funds to get Keffe D out, but the judge wasn't hearing that. She thought the money was illegitimate. Her exact quote was, "I don't really see
this nigga WAC 100 is just ridiculous.
Where the money is coming from." There was a whole situation with that, right? WAC tried to put up $100,000.
Oh, I swear to tell the truth, face ass.
Out of $750,000 that was needed to get him out. The remainder of that bond was going to be paid by an insurance company. WAC had claimed that it was a gift, but prosecutors had a different explanation and pretty much said that WAC was only paying the bond so he could secure an interview with Keffe D. This is something that stemmed from a Vlad TV interview that WAC did.
And I'm wondering, did you do that on purpose, WAC? Did you go on Vlad and fuck that shit up with Keffe D on purpose? Because I did find that weird that you was trying to make that play for Keffe D, and before it went through, you were on Vlad talking about it. And being frank, yeah, I want to get the nigga out, get the interview type shit. You might have did that shit on purpose.
Where he pretty much said as much. When she denied that bail, she said, "I don't find that the defense has met the burden to show that the bail is not connected to Keffe." Ultimately talking about Mr.
You was really about to put 100 racks on Keffe D. You was gonna put 100,000 with an insurance company putting the rest on this nigga who was definitely a flight risk.
Kerr's murder, and any evidence that was offered up to that point that may have been to the contrary was not credible. So Keffe has been sitting in jail pretty much ever since then. The trial date's been pushed back several times. It was initially set for June of 2024, but it was delayed till November of 2024, and most recently it was scheduled for March 17th. All of the delays have been attributed to the need for his attorney, Carl Arnold, to review extensive discovery materials. Due to all of these delays, his attorney put in a motion to dismiss, arguing that the prosecution had been unjustifiably delaying the trial, leading to a violation of Keffe's constitutional rights, because everybody has the right to a speedy trial. Keffe's attorneys claimed that key witnesses had died, evidence had been lost, and that Keffe was promised immunity for the information that he provided in 2008. There were also numerous concerns about Keffe's health condition, because apparently he was diagnosed with cancer, and he was also on some heavy-duty blood thinners, which amplified the concerns about his safety and the treatment that he could receive while in custody. And
look, I like his defense, and I think that he might have had grounds for a motion to dismiss. We'll get to that part.
Just overall, Keffe is not having a good time right now. And if you're somebody that's been following this case from the beginning, then you pretty much know that Keffe D has admitted on numerous occasions to being involved in some capacity in the murder of Tupac. So at this point,
he did.
His defense's best argument is that the trial is just taking too long. They arrested Keffe. They haven't prosecuted him. They've had him just sitting there waiting, effectively violating his constitutional right to a speedy trial. Pretty much they're saying, man, y'all swooped in. Y'all made the arrest. Y'all need to quit delaying. Y'all need to go ahead and get a jury up here and use the evidence that y'all have. Y'all can't arrest people and then collect evidence for years and years after the arrest takes place, right? That's their strongest argument. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the footage from yesterday's court hearing where the judge officially ruled on the motion to dismiss this whole case.
Basically, the law is clear, Your Honor. The state cannot proceed with a conviction against Mr. Davis solely based on his admissions. And if they don't have any evidence to corroborate those admissions, the case should be dismissed. And it's very clear, we both cited to the same exact case as the Sheriff being Dada case. And the law is very clear that we cannot have just the confessions, because if you just leave that to the jury is going to just assume guilt because he confessed.
Okay, so out the gate.
But that makes sense, though. Because you do know the law states that, like, let's say you a cloud chaser. This law protects cloud chasers, actually. Just because you a cloud chaser going around saying that you committed these crimes or whatever, if they don't have any evidence that you actually committed them crimes, they can't prosecute you for them. So basically what he's saying is if Keffe D was running around making money and shit in these interviews saying that shit, well, the only way that y'all can get this nigga with what he's saying is if y'all have evidence to prove that he was actually involved in Pac's murder. Y'all have to have actual evidence to corroborate what he's saying. If you can't corroborate what he's saying with evidence, then you can't prosecute him for that crime.
I know a couple of y'all probably just heard that and said, huh? What's he talking about? You can't use just a confession. If somebody confesses, isn't that all I need to convict them? And you would think so. However, there is a principle in criminal law known as corpus delicti. And that principle pretty much states that a confession standing alone is not enough evidence for a conviction. The reason why this principle exists is to try to help prevent wrongful convictions, as the rule specifically acknowledges the phenomenon of false confessions or coerced confessions, right? And there is like a whole psychological aspect to that right there.
Right. That keeps cops from just going in an interrogation room, making you sign your name to shit and throwing you in jail for life. Even though you confess to it, they still have to have evidence.
I'm sure somebody out there somewhere has made a great breakdown about why people end up confessing to crimes they didn't commit. But in most jurisdictions across the United States, the courts do require some form of corroborating evidence alongside a confession in order to proceed with a conviction. So if that threw you guys off a little bit why he just said that, then now you know.
And in Keffe's case, that is a good defense, especially this nigga been locked up since 2023. What evidence do y'all have? What's taking so long?
And so without the state providing any evidence outside of those confessions, that's a huge problem. It amounts to a legal trial, a trial that won't have the correct result. And so the state is saying that basically we were we should have done this as a habeas petition. I disagree with that. Here's the reason why. We are not contesting probable cause. What we're contesting is, after all of the evidence has been delivered, there's no corroborating evidence. There's nothing. And then the state also stated that we're just looking for a corpus delicti. You just have to look at the body. If there's a body, there's corpus delicti. And that's just not the rule, Your Honor. There has to be, obviously in this case, a body, but the state has also alleged that this was assisted, promoted.
Yeah, you just saying that we got Tupac's body. How does that mean that he did it though?
By a gang. And so those facts have to be evident. And the only way we have those facts is from Mr. Davis's own mouth. The other participants in this, which I'll talk about in my second argument, are all dead.
Everybody dead.
And so, but for Mr. Davis speaking and giving those statements, there is no corpus delicti in this case.
So I know to you guys it may sound like he is arguing against what I told you a minute ago, which is that they're pretty much relying on the principle of corpus delicti in order to say there's no corroborating evidence. And it may sound like he is arguing against that, but he's not. What he's saying is there is no evidence that has been delivered to him through discovery that corroborates anything that Keffe D has confessed.
I ain't seen it.
To, meaning that there is no corpus delicti, if that makes sense to you guys. He's pretty much just saying there's not enough evidence to prove
Keffe D actually got a decent lawyer.
that the crime actually took place based on what Keffe D has said in the past, even though there's clearly obviously evidence a crime took place. Tupac was murdered. What he's saying is there is no evidence that corroborates any of the confession that Keffe D gave. I know law can be kind of confusing, and I'm no lawyer myself, but that is pretty much what the guy is trying to explain.
I'll go to argument 2. And that's Mr. Davis's right to a fair trial and due process. The state pointed out the correct standard of review for that, and I don't disagree with that standard. However, the part that we disagree with is whether Mr. Davis is prejudiced or not. They're saying, well, the witnesses that died are going to give speculative, well, it's speculative as to what the witnesses would say. In those cases, yes, that would have been the situation. In this case, it's different. I'll just concentrate on these 4 witnesses, Your Honor. Eric Martin, and just for the court's edification, Eric Martin was the person that supposedly gave the gun. DeAndre Smith, he was in the backseat. Terrence Brown, he was the driver, and Orlando Anderson was alleged to be the actual shooter. Without these 4 co-conspirators being alive, being available at trial, basically, Mr. Davis is completely prejudiced from proceeding. And his defense is he made this all up for profit. These individuals, these co-conspirators, have to exist in an effort to kill Mr. Tupac Shakur. If they're not alive, if Eric didn't give him the gun, if DeAndre wasn't the driver, if Orlando didn't shoot, we don't have a murder according to the state's theory, which is following, again, solely the omissions. So
this nigga lawyer actually decent, bro.
So we go back to when was this information available to the state? I would allege that it was available all the way in 1996. Everybody knew Orlando Anderson was in a fight with Tupac. Well, he wasn't in a fight. He got beat up by Tupac and other members of his gang.
Yeah, they stomped Buddy out.
Viciously. He was the #1 suspect right off the bat. There should have been an alert. The police should have been searching for Orlando Anderson, but we always knew where he was because he went back to LA. They could have been in contact with him. They could have gotten statements from him. They could have gotten statements from Mr. Davis. They could have gotten statements from Mr. Martin. They knew all of these players way back in 1996.
So this is a...
But here's my thing. If you want me to believe y'all that I'm supposed to believe everything that Keffe D's saying, then why ain't y'all went and picked up Diddy for this?
Pretty simple, but I think ineffective argument that he's making right here. He's pretty much saying, hey, the people who were allegedly co-conspirators in the murder of Tupac, they're all dead. Everybody except for Keffe D. It's not fair that he's the only one that has to stand trial, because it's not like the investigators didn't know about all.
No, that's not necessarily what he's saying. What he's saying is that how can you corroborate anything of any parts of his story when his story is centered around people that are dead? That's what he's saying.
All of this information way back in 1996 when it went down, they just didn't act on it. And while I do think if they failed to investigate it, that is a serious fumble of justice, murder also has no statute of limitations. So it doesn't matter.
That's true, but that's not really what they're arguing.
If they were investigating it thoroughly back then, or if they're investigating it thoroughly right now, they can investigate whenever they feel like it's murder. There is no expiration date on it. He claims that Keffe D made it all up for profit. Come on, bro.
But what he's saying is like, if y'all had all this information in 96, why didn't y'all get at this nigga in 96 when it would have been easier for y'all to prosecute it? Why would y'all wait 30 years to get this nigga? And when he said, and then for him to say that it doesn't make sense that Keffe D made this shit up for profit, yes, it does. He literally was going around on YouTube from show to show getting paid to talk about the shit. So yeah, he was making a profit off of it.
I don't know what happened. I'm sure Mr. Giacomo doesn't know what happened in regards to why the district attorney's office did not proceed with prosecution or at least an investigation at that time.
That makes sense.
It's a tactical delay that goes severely against my client because now all of these players are dead. I'll fast forward all the way to 2009. In 2009, the Metro officer comes down to LA and gives us, Mr. Davis gives the statement. That statement, all of the elements of this murder and what the state will attempt to prove at trial if the trial goes forward, is what Mr. Davis had said. They had that information. They did no investigation. At that time, Eric Martin was still alive, and also Terrence Brown was still alive. Orlando had passed in 1999, and I think DeAndre Smith in 2005. But at least two major players in this co-conspiracy are passed. The DA's office, again, does not do any investigation beyond that. And so, with that, we feel that my client's sufficiently prejudiced beyond.
And that's the one thing I gotta give Joseph is like, for everybody to be playing dumb on clout chasing is crazy. Like, yes, there are clout chasers that will pretend to kill people for clout. It is very possible. And that could be one of the biggest reasons why he's always told these stories. It's because he know he didn't actually do it, so he wasn't gonna get in trouble.
Repair. It leads me back to the immunity argument. In 2009, I counted, well, I'll just go through the pages, Your Honor. In that 2009 discussion with the Las Vegas Metro Police Department's officer, Detective Long, on page 3, he says, no intent of arresting Keffe. Page 11, I'm not here to arrest you. I'm not here to arrest you. I'm not going to arrest you. Page 12, you're free to leave. I'm not going to arrest you. You can go wherever you want. Page 103 and number 4, Terrence Brown was still alive, and the detective said I was not going to arrest him. Page 134, I want to close the Tupac case. Page 138. This is confidential and covered, and you cannot be charged on it. Basically, you have the state was given the information by the LAPD. The LAPD had a immunity agreement with him out of the 2008 confession. The 2009 confession came by a product of Detective Dupree. Detective Dupree set that up. The only reason he set that up and why my client would have agreed to was that everybody was on the same page, that immunity was going to be provided. If it wasn't, how come he wasn't arrested right then and there? Because
fact,
he said, I got the gun from Zip Martin.
And remember, now here's the other part too that kind of makes me think that they know that Keffe D be lying, they know it. They got this nigga to tell them everything they wanted him to tell them under proffer, right? And everybody knows this. How come they could never move on anything or anybody? If, like, I'm trying to understand how y'all had Keffe and all this shit. Y'all ain't, bro, he has openly said Diddy was involved several times, but we gonna believe everything that he say up until that part, though, I guess.
We were in a white Cadillac, I handed it to the back seat, and then Orlando took the gun and shot Tupac. All of that information is back there in 2009. But again, the DA office, and again, it's not these players, it's not Mr. Wolfson or Mr. Giacomo. That decision was made back then not to proceed with the trial.
Okay, now this whole section of his argument can get a little bit confusing because Keffe...
It's really not that confusing.
He talked to the police departments from Los Angeles and Las Vegas numerous times throughout the years. And there were, quote unquote, agreements made during some of these meetings that led Keffe to believe that he had immunity. So what his attorney is arguing right now is that he was given proffers of immunity by the Los Angeles Police Department in 2008 in exchange.
But the only problem is Pac was murdered in Nevada, though.
For his cooperation in providing information about Tupac's murder. These proffers were supposedly offered by LAPD detective Greg Kading, who y'all may know from his numerous DJ Vlad
clout demon
interviews or his book Murder Rap, The Untold Story of Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur's murder investigations. Right? Kading is kind of like a clout chasing cop. Bro has been...
Oh, he's a clout demon.
Super hungry to have his name tied to this case and to be the person that solves it. Anyways, he's the one that supposedly offered immunity to Keffe in exchange for his testimony. However, there have been claims that there is no formal documented immunity agreement in place. However, his attorney is arguing that Keffe understood that these proffers were in place as a form of legal immunity, and at the time he believed that any information he shared wouldn't be used against him in court. This is what led to him speaking freely throughout the years about what all went down, including in his interviews, public appearances, and in his own book, Compton Street Legend. What the defense is doing is pointing out that while there's no formal written immunity agreements in place, the nature of the discussions and the context in which they occurred should be considered by the court as granting Keffe some.
And what does y'all play here? So y'all convict Keffe D of this shit. I hope y'all ain't gonna want people to celebrate y'all, because that's not going to get you putting Keffe D in prison for Pac's murder is, I'm just telling you, is a losing proposition. The streets already called Keffe D a liar anyway.
Some form of legal protection because he wasn't arrested at the time that he gave them this information. I'm sure that
that's why I like the defense of, unless y'all got some other evidence besides this nigga confessing, you can't just use his confession alone. You have to have corroborating evidence. I like that play because that makes sense, where it's like he could have just been lying for money the whole time.
Watch this, the prosecution, which this is the prosecution team in Las Vegas.
Which Is Keffe D on Vlad TV or any of these places making this podcast money? Do we even know who the fuck he is? Is he portrayed as somebody in a movie? All this shit. Is it any of that shit if he didn't say he killed Pac or had something to do with killing Pac? Of course not.
Is probably going to counter those claims by saying that because there's no documented immunity, there is no immunity. And even if there was documented immunity, it would have came from the Los Angeles Police Department, not the Las Vegas Police Department, which is in Nevada. Los Angeles is in California, so two different states. And I'm sure he's going to say that even if they did give him one, it would not apply to their jurisdiction. We'll have to wait and see if he says that, but I'm sure he will. But yeah, that's pretty much what is being argued right now.
And now it's the state's burden, we believe, to show why they did not go forward and prosecute. They just can't sit here and say, well, he kept talking about it. No, you had that information in the beginning. You should have arrested him back in 2009. And so it had to be for a tactical advantage. That being, everybody's dead. It leaves Mr. Davis on the hook. And then he can't answer for all of the statements he made after that, other than it was for profit. And so,
regarding the timeline that you've laid out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would Mr. Martin and Mr. Brown have been alive after the Compton Street Legend book was published, or no?
What is that, 2018, right?
2019, no. Terrence Brown dies, I believe, in 2015. And Zip Martin, I don't recall exactly when he died.
See what I'm saying?
She is asking that question because I'm sure that the prosecution team is probably going to argue, well, we didn't arrest him at that time because he may have thought he had some kind of immunity, or maybe he did have immunity, which...
But this is the thing that's stupid, where it's like, why did y'all wait until everybody died to do this? It ain't like that Keffe got in these interviews and said anything different than what we had been hearing for over a decade. I just don't even understand the play here. And this, I don't know what Keffe did or not, and I ain't like no Keffe D fan or whatever, but this is just the whole play just doesn't make sense why y'all will wait this long.
If they argued that would kind of kill her. He don't have immunity case, but they may very well say the reason why we didn't arrest him at that time is because we did give him immunity. We just heard them say a couple of the people involved were dead around this time, and they may argue the fact that, hey, the reason we picked this back up is because if he did have immunity, it was for that one single conversation that he had with the police. It didn't give him immunity if he went out after that conversation and began confessing to stuff. All right, so I'm sure that's why the judge is asking, did the book come before or after? Because it may very well end up being one of those things where the state says we didn't arrest him at the time because of that proffer, but once he started dropping that book and giving interviews and speaking about it, the proffer didn't cover that. That's why we had to wait. We didn't know he was going to talk about it publicly again. When he did, it gave us a reason to move in, reinvestigate, and arrest him.
But it's not your argument that he ultimately would, if that's the state's triggering event for starting to investigate, that he would not have been alive at that time. Is that accurate?
After the book, right, when the book was published.
Yeah.
But after the 2009, he was still alive.
Of course, the Detective Long interview, of course, they're still alive, but except for Mr. Anderson and Mr. Smith. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had it.
Yep. And outside of any other questions, Your Honor, we submit.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Arnold. Mr. Gajal.
But that's my whole thing is, if we gonna believe what Keffe D say, Keffe D let it be known he wasn't nothing more than like a middleman, and at best he was a middleman in this murder. Meaning that how are you gonna just be putting Keffe D in jail for Pac murder, but you ain't gonna go get Diddy? Cause ain't Keffe D's story always been that Diddy set this shit up? Diddy gave Zip the $1 million check and all this other bullshit?
Anything you want to add?
Just briefly, as it relates first to corpus delicti, that's death by criminal agency. Obviously, Mr. Shakur didn't shoot himself, so that is satisfied in a homicide.
That does not, no it doesn't. Just because you have a body that was shot dead, if he admitted to doing it, you have to have evidence that he did it. You can't just say that, well, he claimed that he killed somebody and we found out that that person's actually dead. That doesn't satisfy corpus delicti. That's wild.
By proof of the facts and circumstances, which were testified to, by the way, to the grand jury. And it is an argument.
Simple stuff right here. The defense attorney had argued that they didn't have any evidence that corroborated anything that Keffe D had said in his confession. This guy for the state is basically saying, we don't really need anything else that corroborates his statement. The proof that what he said happened is, in fact, the body of Tupac, right?
That's an L. Just because you have his body does not mean you corroborated that he did it or that he had something to do with it. No. The prosecutors, they ain't got no evidence. They have no evidence that Keffe D did anything. None. Zero.
Basically saying that's enough to prove that it happened.
We didn't go through all of the evidence that is potentially out there. Their argument is there was insufficient evidence presented at the grand jury in order for them to be held under the corpus delicti rule. Even if you were to take it a next step further and say you have to have some evidence of a conspiracy independent of the bullets in Mr. Shakur?
Yes, because just because there were bullets in Pac don't mean that he literally in his story said he didn't put them there. How can you got to be able to prove that he was in the car that pulled up and shot Pac, bro? This shit where you just like, well, outside of what he said, we have Pac's body. Okay.
There's clearly at least a driver and a shooter, so evidence of a conspiracy exists. And so therefore, corpus delicti is satisfied no matter how you look at it, one way or the other. I also would...
And that's the other thing, Josu. Josu brings up a great point. Keffe D has had 50 million versions of this story. So which version of y'all are y'all gonna pin him on? Which version are you gonna pin him on? I think what happened was, I think they locked Keffe D up and they've been trying to get Keffe D to probably tell on Diddy or something like that, and he ain't going. Because I don't understand why you wait till everybody died, then you lock this nigga up and you clearly ain't got no evidence. Well, what evidence do you have that he's telling the truth? Or Pac's dead? So you mean to tell me that you can charge anybody, so anybody on earth can say, Pac, I killed Pac, and you can take them to trial over that based off the fact that Pac's dead. So they can't be lying, right? Like, what are you talking about?
Dispute there's no independent evidence to corroborate, but that's not relevant in a corpus delicti.
And remember, and he's been locked up since September of 23. So this is what the state is telling you after this nigga being locked up for over a year, like a year and a half almost. This nigga been locked up almost a year and a half, and y'all gonna sit here after almost a year and a half and be like, we don't need no more evidence. But yes, you do.
Corpus delicti is about criminal agency, and there is clearly criminal agency in this particular case.
No, it's not.
As it relates to the second argument, I'm unclear exactly what their argument is on the tactical decision we made. Their argument is he fully confessed, which, as the court reviews that transcript, you can tell that he is being a knowing spectator all the way up until Dan Long gets kicked out of the room. Then his lawyer and Detective Dupree have a conversation where his lawyer tells him, hey, if you say the wrong thing, this guy can arrest you. And as you well know, because they're in California, Dan Long can't arrest him. Dan Long has to come back here, submit a warrant for his arrest, and take him into custody. Detective Long never tells him that he has immunity, but even if he did, all that would go to is the admissibility of the statement, because Detective Long doesn't have the authority to issue that, nor do the LA DAs or the LAPD or the federal government. Only a court in the state of Nevada could say Mr. Davis has immunity from the crime of murder.
Well, he is right about that.
In the state of Nevada.
Yeah, I knew that was coming from a mile away. Pretty much he's saying exactly what I told y'all he was going to say, which is, I don't care who in Los Angeles.
That's why I think they should stay to the corpus delicti defense, because they don't have any other evidence besides his confession. None. I mean, zero, not a stitch.
told Keffe that he had immunity. Don't nobody from Los Angeles or California or even the federal government got the right to dictate who does and doesn't have immunity in the state of Nevada on a murder charge. And I mean, at the end of the day, bro, he's right. It's a solid argument. The crime did not take place in California or in Los Angeles. Sure, that's where Keffe resided, but the crime took place in Nevada, meaning that Nevada has jurisdiction over it no matter where the person who is being accused of the crime is from. I knew that was coming, and if I had to make a prediction, I'm gonna go ahead and say I bet the judge agrees with him by the end of this.
And he has pointed to zero evidence whatsoever of any immunity. He has referenced
You ain't pointed to zero evidence that this nigga actually had something to do with it.
some proffer agreements that he had with other agencies, and certainly that could be the...
And look how lazy policing has gotten. Where it's just like, you can do a couple internet interviews and they'll just go pick you up, keep you for over a year, never get any evidence or nothing.
Subject of future litigation as to which of those statements are admissible or not admissible. And then the other, I guess, argument is somehow we waited intentionally so everyone else would be dead to charge Mr. Davis with a crime. No, Mr. Davis chose upon himself to publicly confess to a crime multiple times.
Right. But do you have evidence that he is telling the truth when he did that? Because y'all know he got paid for each one of those interviews.
And that's the evidence that spurred the investigation of Detective Mogg and ultimately resulted in his arrest. Mr. Davis has no basis to complain that he's sitting in that box right now. Because Mr. Davis got up there and even quote once said, I think it's in May of 23, on video, I beat the streets, I beat the feds, and I beat cancer.
What is him beating the feds? What is him beating the streets? And I get where you bringing that up. That does kind of sound damning. But what does that have to do with him murdering Tupac?
That was his choice to make. And when he made that choice, the state of Nevada chose to charge him, and he needs to stand trial for the charges, and I'll submit it.
Thank you, Mr. Arnold.
Yeah, just a quick rebuttal. I don't want the court to get hooked up on this corpus delicti. The corpus delicti rule is basically, again, that's in the preliminary hearing stages of the case. The black letter law is this. The law states you cannot have a conviction based upon just his admissions and statements. That's the law.
He right. They cannot convict him if all the evidence they have is this nigga went on interviews where he was getting paid. Cause do you understand what his lawyer would just have to do at trial? His lawyer would literally just bring up other videos of all these people saying that Keffe D is a liar. Keffe D didn't have nothing to do with that shit. Pac made $1 million deal with Keffe D. Like there's hours and hours of footage of people saying that Keffe D's lying, that we all know that were actually connected to situations.
If the state
Number 5
at this point puts on a trial to a jury and that's all they have is his admissions, that whole trial is illegal. That's a legal trial. It's going up for appeal. It should not happen.
Again, this is probably
right. It's like y'all can go ahead and do whatever, and we taking this shit. We gonna appeal this shit because unless these niggas got more evidence that my client had something actually to do with this murder besides him saying it. So remember when you see confessions happen like an SVU confession or some shit, they generally want them to do what? Tell them where some evidence is at. Where do you show me proof? Show me this. Show me, because you have to have something else, and that law is in place to keep situations like the cops coercing you to fucking tell. So it's literally keep the cops from getting you to motherfucking cop the crimes you didn't commit. Because they'll get you to commit cop to a crime you didn't commit, and then they don't have to do no more police investigation. Well, nope, they said they didn't. They signed their name. Let's put them in prison. Not a shredder. And then they'll come back. Then it comes out 10, 15 years later, the motherfucker didn't do nothing. And then them same police are trying to tell me, well, there wasn't nothing we could do to figure that out. We followed the evidence. What was the evidence? He told us he did it. Why would we look anywhere else?
Lawyer's strongest argument, but from my own personal opinion, I feel like the state is right, man. They do have some other evidence, and it is the body of Tupac, and I personally think that should be sufficient enough.
Why would you think just a dead body proves that Keffe D had something to do with it? Come on, KB, that don't make sense, bro. The dead body of Tupac Shakur is not proof that motherfucking Keffe D is telling the truth in them interviews.
Maybe y'all feel a different way about that, but I think this is his strongest argument, and honestly, it's a pretty weak one, because we also heard the prosecution say that they did have other evidence besides the body, but
I doubt it.
They really feel like having the body is the only other piece of evidence that they need.
If they had something else besides, if they had something directly linking Keffe D, they would snuff this whole argument out immediately with that.
And, you know, I agree. I know that this guy is just doing his job and trying to defend Keffe, but this motion for dismissal that they're going over right now is not about to go in his favor.
They need to have something else, a gun, a witness, something else that puts this gentleman, those three co-conspirators in the car. They need to have a witness to say that the gun was given to, from Mr. Martin to Mr. Davis. They don't have anything. They don't have anything to even prove that my client was in the state of Nevada.
So prove to me that y'all got more than this nigga just saying shit on the internet. Because his lawyer just said that y'all don't even have proof that the nigga was in Nevada. But y'all believe this nigga was involved, but y'all can't even prove that the nigga was in Nevada. Y'all can prove everybody else is there. We know everybody. Y'all can prove everybody else was there. I think Keffe was just middlemaning some shit from back home. That's why he wasn't tripping like that when he didn't get paid, because he wasn't really involved with it like that. If that was even the case. Shit, he might have got paid and just lied about it in a situation where it was like he probably got paid just to middleman a meeting that led to it, if it was the case. But if y'all ain't even got proof the nigga was in Nevada, how y'all gonna try to prove? That's what I'm saying. You can't sit here and be like, oh, Pac's body's enough. Nigga, can you even prove the nigga was in the state?
At the time of this incident.
Except the multiple confessions that he gave. Look at Keffe, bro. Thinks he's winning right now.
I mean, basically, they have Orlando Anderson, but we don't know if the Crips were here. That's all hearsay that came from the grand jury, and there's no evidence whatsoever. And so without that, we can't put on the trial, Your Honor. We just simply can't. In regards to the delay, again, I don't blame this office, this DA's office, in regards to the delay, but somebody made the decision along the way that we are not going to prosecute Mr. Davis. And this office now needs to go forward with that immunity agreement. They need to. Those promises were made by their officer, the state's officer, and now we're just gonna ignore that? That doesn't make sense.
I ain't gonna lie. If you hear the audio from Keffe D's testimony and you read some of the transcripts from it, bro, they did offer him immunity, and it is kind of...
They did.
of slimy to come back and arrest somebody that thought they had immunity. But man, in most cases, the law is black and white. You had immunity during that one session where you were confessing. You didn't have it for the rest of the confessions that you gave. I do think moves like this make it more likely that people that watch it and then are involved in something after seeing it won't confess, even if they're offered immunity. You know, they never know if another agency will come get them. But also, if there's no documents that were signed, an actual agreement that was signed, and the person who promised immunity had nothing to do with the state that was investigating, I mean, it seems to me like they're operating within the confines of...
Here's my thing. If I'm the prosecution, if I got slam dunk evidence on this nigga, I would just offer up the tiniest piece of evidence. Here we go, Your Honor. We have him XYZ. This whole thing where they're like, we not showing, the only evidence we got after a year and a half is Pac's body. And I've always had a problem with, and remember, they've had this shit in Pac movies and shit where, you know, everybody knows about Keffe D in the interrogation room. Everybody knows about it by now. My only problem with that is he gave all that information and it led to nothing. Nobody got arrested. Nobody did no time, anything. So that is a strong thing with me to make me go, the nigga was lying about everything. Y'all took his information. Y'all found out it was bunk.
Of the law. Is it dirty?
Boss lady was happening.
Yeah, probably. Does it mean that Keffe is innocent? Nah.
Agreement from this office, or from the general...
from the general immunity that started from 2008 and went to 2009. Like I said, the only reason that...
Who within Clark County DA's office made that argument? Was that...
No, it wasn't at the DA's office. It was the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Officer, Detective Long.
When he said things like, I'm not going to arrest you.
Right, right. And again, like I said, it was not the office. And so outside of us, you know, having an evidentiary hearing as to who made those decisions back then in the DA's office, I mean, my client is just prejudiced because of those decisions. Because, again...
That's a good argument.
Everybody waited all these years, and now we have players that are co-conspirators that are just dead and can't, you know, deny participation. And so, with that, we'd submit, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Right, because that's kind of fucked up where it's like, since these niggas are dead, we gonna take everything that we gonna basically treat these niggas like convicted criminals. Because you almost have to. You have to convict them in death to get to Keffe D.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arnold. Okay, I'm going to take your arguments in turn. First.
Yeah, they didn't give it. That's why I'm like, why would y'all wait? Just ask yourself, why would the fuck would they wait until everybody dead and come get this nigga? I think they try to shake this nigga down for some shit, or they wanted him to snitch on. I think that it's possible that he was trying to get this nigga to connect this shit with Diddy and he won't do it. It just doesn't make any sense. He told, so all this shit, y'all said, he confessed. Well, okay, he confessed in these interviews and shit. All right, bet. Well, he confessed to y'all 30 years, 20 years before that shit. He confessed to y'all decades before these interviews. Then y'all want to try to bring in the interviews when, just like Josu pointed out, bro, he ain't even been consistent in all his stories. But y'all about to, which story are y'all picking?
The corpus delicti argument. I am going to consider this on its merits, given the Supreme Court's guidance in Diani versus State. I think it's better to at least hear it on its merits. Corpus delicti requires that there be corroborating evidence to support a confession. In a homicide case in the Nevada Supreme Court, as you both said, indicated this would be satisfied by proof of death by criminal agency. So I think maybe an example makes the most sense to explain what this concept means. For example, I confess that this morning, as I was driving into work, I killed someone on 3rd and Lewis Avenue. All right, now let's say there's no body ever found, there's no video, there's nothing. It's only my statement that I killed someone that makes this crime exist. However, here, that is not the...
First of all, you need to take them damn lashes off. You look like a damn fool. I can't take this judge serious.
In this case, that isn't the case. There is corpus delicti because Mr. Shakur was shot and eventually passed away from his injury. An autopsy was completed. His death was determined to be homicide by gunshot wound. And ultimately, it's a situation where the crime... There has to be at least one shred of evidence. But this is all... See, I get what you're trying to say, Judge, but here's where it's fucked up what you're doing. All of that information that you naming has been publicly available since 96. Her argument is, no, that's not, this is literally going against the spirit of that law. The whole law is to prevent these very things right here. Well, Pac was shot. He said he shot Pac and Pac was shot. Nigga, everybody knew that Pac was shot. Everybody knew where he was right before he was shot. Everybody knew what street he went down, where it happened, every fucking thing. So why is it so far-fetched that somebody could come 20 years after that and claim ownership of some shit and they not be lying? Yeah, y'all, bro, I never thought I'd be defending Keffe D. Has been established that a murder occurred because of the body of Mr. Shakur. So I will deny it on those grounds.
Yeah, so corpus delicti, denied. The body is enough. The crime...
It's not.
...has been established. Right here is where...
It's not about establishing the crime. See, you're double talking just like they're double talking. Y'all got y'all minds. Y'all just... I get it. Keffe D's a fucking moron who should have never been running his mouth. That does not give them the right to fuck him over. They can't convict this nigga if the only evidence they got is his confession. I don't give a fuck. They can come and go, what are they going to do? Show the jury Pac's autopsy? How does that prove that he had anything to do with it?
Keffe D probably goes from smiling and nodding his head to sweating bullets.
Regarding the pre-indictment delay argument, as you both cited, it looks like the standard that's laid out federally in People v. Nelson. I'll use that standard. A delay in prosecution that occurs before the accused
Them lashes, I can't even look at her, bro.
is arrested or the complaint is filed, so we're looking at a pre-indictment delay argument. That could potentially constitute a denial of the right to a fair trial and due process of law under both state and federal constitutions. And then determining whether prejudice to the defendant has occurred, the court needs to balance the harm to the defendant against the justification for the delay. Here, it's clear that some of the witnesses are now deceased, and there is definitely evidence that has been lost. However, I do find there is a justification for the delay, and a pretty significant one. Uncovering information on Mr. Shakur's murder was ultimately no easy task. There was the interview in 2009, but it's clear that there was, at the attorney's suggestion, Mr. Davis at that time was not giving full information. He was sort of trying to obscure information and make it very general so that he would not be charged with murder, as his attorney indicated. It was not until ultimately the Constant Street Legend book was released in 2019 that Detective Mock then sought to establish the words in the book are actually defendants and to corroborate those things. The prejudice of the death of those 4 defendants that have been identified had already occurred at that time.
They getting ready to put a body on 3 dead people just to get the Keffe D. This don't even make sense to me. I don't even understand why. I mean, Keffe D is like damn near 70, bro. Bro, this ain't even, again, if y'all call yourselves doing this shit because y'all trying to get reelected, because I can see some shit where it's like, y'all think y'all gonna get reelected for putting away Pac's murder, or the nigga that killed Pac. It's like, nigga, no, that's like, you got to get Diddy for that type of shit.
Additionally, it took the next several years to gather that evidence and ultimately led to the June 23rd, 2023 search warrant of the defendant's residence. After that search warrant was executed, then the grand jury indicted the defendant after several meetings in September of 2023. The defendant has not provided any evidence to establish that the delay was intentionally done to gain a tactical advantage or that the prosecution delayed in bad faith. I don't see that the state really does gain any sort of tactical advantage here. I still think, it's a bit of an uphill battle for them given what they have. And ultimately, they can't get complete justice for Mr. Shakur because of the deaths of those other people, including Mr. Anderson, who's the alleged shooter in this incident.
So why are we burning all this shit for just this is weird to me, where it's like, we ain't got the nigga driving the car, we ain't got the nigga that had the gun, and we ain't got the nigga that fired the gun. We got a nigga that allegedly was just in the car.
And so I ultimately don't see that this is a situation where the state really got any advantage by delaying, and in fact is themselves hindered. And so overall, I'm going to deny on the pre-indictment delay argument and turn to the immunity argument.
Denied yet again. All right, so the judge is saying that, you know, it doesn't benefit the prosecution to take 20 plus years to convict somebody. That's not how it works when there's big, large delays like that. It actually hinders their ability to get a prosecution. Not only that, it impedes the amount of justice that they can serve to Tupac's family, because now there's several people that can't be convicted of it.
Exactly.
Even if they were guilty. She basically said the reason why Keffe D wasn't arrested in 2008 when he was giving his confession is because he was trying to be vague enough to keep himself from being incriminated. And that's what resulted in him not being arrested. It wasn't
That's cap, though.
until his book came out that the police felt like they now had enough to make the arrest. And all of that.
That's ridiculous.
Does make perfect sense, at least from a legal viewpoint,
not to me.
or at least my legal viewpoint. But again, I'm no attorney.
It's fairly clear that the state of Nevada has never offered the defendant any sort of immunity. The federal government did in some capacity, but it doesn't appear to be complete transactional immunity. The court agrees that the interview defendant gave to the federal authorities in 1998 cannot be used against him as per the terms of the agreement. I think that's something that the state also conceded in their motion work. However, the defendant has not produced any sort of agreement showing the federal government offered him transactional immunity from ever being prosecuted for this crime. In the 2009 interview that's been referenced multiple times throughout these arguments, Detective Long's assurances of not arresting Mr. Davis really go to whether he was in custody for purposes of Miranda or things like that. Additionally, he didn't have a warrant at the time, so that was an accurate statement of the law. There's nothing in that that can imply transactional immunity. Additionally, his defendant's attorney's concerns at that time of that 2009 interview with Detective Long kind of show the opposite conclusion, that he is concerned with the defendant being charged with murdering Mr. Shakur, and that, which leads me to believe that Mr. Davis did not have transactional immunity in the view of his attorney, and that's why his attorney advised Mr. Davis to keep it vague.
Y'all got it out for this nigga, and I don't get why.
And at that time, Mr. Davis did listen to his attorney, but his subsequent interviews and his self-proclaimed biography did not keep it vague. As the years.
I mean, would Keffe D have any type of name if he wasn't saying the shit he was saying in the interviews? And the answer is a clear no.
Past, Mr. Davis revealed additional information on his own volition, and presumably for his own pecuniary interests that connected him to this, the alleged death, or the death of Mr. Shakur, allegedly at Mr. Davis's hands. And I do find the state is entitled to use that information freely given by defendant with no prompting by governmental authority and released to the public in its prosecution. So I'm going to deny the motion on those grounds. Overall, the motion to dismiss is denied, and the state has prepared the order consistent with this ruling and with its opposition.
So with that, in total, the motion to dismiss was denied. But not only that, you heard her say that she doesn't think that Keffe D was given immunity in the first place. She said that actually the things that he has said leads her to believe that he wasn't given immunity, like when he said that his attorney told him not to say anything that would incriminate him too bad because they may end up arresting him. And she,
but that could be anything. That could be anything.
He said he listened to his attorney at the time, and that's why he was being vague during his proffers. So that's pretty interesting. But as of right now, apparently Keffe's attorney brought up something else, Rule 317, which I'm going to be real, I have no idea what that's about, but apparently it's something she is going to hear on February 11th. And as of right now, the trial for Keffe D continues to be set for March 17th of this year. It could be pushed back. We've seen it get pushed back several times.
Yeah, I think this is easy for him to beat unless they pull out some super. If all their evidence is Vlad interviews and shit, good luck.
Times now, but this has been the date for his trial, and if everything goes smoothly, that's when we will see him go to court and see if he beats it or gets convicted of it. You know, we'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, motion to dismiss, dismissed. That's what.
Shout out to KB. I mean, y'all gotta have some more evidence. I ain't saying the nigga wasn't there, no shit, but like where I come from, People don't really be believing Keffe D like that. Y'all understand that they giving this nigga a gang of clout right now. They are giving this nigga so much fucking clout right now. It's absurd. I want them to tell me what they trying to say. Like, what did he say in the book that made y'all go, we can lock this nigga up? We wait until every other major player in the car died. And I ain't gonna say that they did that so they could purposely lock up Keffe D, but that shit still look kind of weird that y'all niggas did wait until the niggas died before you. The niggas that actually shot, the niggas that actually drove. Because remember, we going off what Keffe D said, right? That's what y'all telling me. Today will be another day of waiting for the judge to respond. As soon as the judge does, we'll go crazy. I'm exhausted though. I don't know how I made it this long, but I ain't gonna make it too much longer. I'm getting ready to bounce. We hit enough stories this evening. This crazy ass door ring cam lady. Michelle, what is her name? Michelle what? I forgot her name that quick. Well, whatever her name is. But I think I'll stop here this evening. Why don't you say goodnight to your boy? We are on the clock. As soon as I find out you can expect a live, even if I'm like out and about somewhere, I will just go live on my phone. But let's hope we hear something today. If not, let's hope we hear something tomorrow. Let's hope we hear something Monday. We'll just keep hoping. We'll just keep waiting. Mob, Kendra, Joe, Sue, Boss Lady, A-Dub. Choose compassion. These are amazing times. Scott Johnson, Big. I wish I had known how much of a dope fiend I was on the website today. I was like, this must be what the TikTok addiction. I was like, I got federal court addiction, nigga. I couldn't do nothing. I was doom scrolling one page. Josu, peace out. Joy, carefree. I just might do that. I don't know. I'm in kind of one of those where I think I'm gonna just go. Bro, I'm an elite window shopper. Elite. I think I'm gonna do some window shopping. I'm elite. Kick back, watch some TV. Maybe look at some basketball cards. Maybe look at some technology, something. Something take my mind off of this fuck shit. I would fire up the video games. I don't really feel like playing video games tonight. I just want to just relax my brain. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Is relax my brain. Lay your head on my pillow, bump, boom, and just relax, relax. Relax. Or I might find me a good YouTube documentary to watch. That could be rather fun. Yet educational? Would that be the word I'm looking for? It could be.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
God is great. I did see somebody say something about this shit that had me rolling. It's like, look, if you want me to believe that shit was just something he just be doing and that was an accident, tell him to take his ass over to Germany and do that shit. Tell him to go over to Germany and beat across his chest and put his hand up like that and see how that shit go.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
All right, no, I'm good. All right, you just the way he shooted me, okay. I was gonna park the vehicle, no tickets issued, but just next time show some respect. That's all I gotta say. I don't have to.
I sat there and watched your ass eat a whole meal for $5. You had a fucking box of pizza, a slab of ribs with a side of large fries, but ain't offered me shit though. After I just got you from the hospital last night. Oh, that shit ain't scare you, huh? But you just want to keep stuffing shit down your mouth.
I just want to go back.
You want somebody to feel sorry, but you keep eating. Honey buns are sitting on your bed. Yeah, I saw you last night trying to sneak them under there. I don't know how you got down, but I saw you.
Where?
Where? What the fuck you mean where? Oh, your big ass want to play slow. All right. Tell me what the fuck this is then right here. Honey buns and shit. Oatmeal cream pie. What else you got under this motherfucker? Twinkies and shit.
Stop yelling at me.
Stop yelling at you. Your kids we in this bitch hungry. Ain't eating shit. And you say, all right, no extra shit up, man. I ain't feeding your big ass no more, dog. Hey, baby. Me and the kids about to go to Burger King. You want something?
Y'all see it.
Wait until y'all see the new clips I'm about to start putting in the intro, outro.
Best hands in the world.
As soon as this gets over, LNC is gonna take a bath. We're gonna look a little different.
Come taste this yourself. See all that butter? Deliciousness. Y'all want to know the secret so bad about it? A little bit more. A little bit more.
And this is why big backing is an epidemic. This is why big backing is an epidemic. I had to take a shot of insulin. Get some insulin from somebody else to finish watching this video. Y'all swear y'all be cooking. You got a whole 40-pound bag of sugar on 3 pans of yams. Talking about you see it. We see it. We see diabetes. We see gout. Cavities in all teeth, hypertension, headaches, limb amputations, the big arm disease. I don't know what they call it, but just big arms. And if you can spread sugar like that, it's too much. Talking about it in a little bit more. That's enough. Jesus said that was enough. It's more than enough. It's abundant. You cooking up disease at this point. I wouldn't eat them yams with somebody else's mouth.
Mike, if I find out you make yams like that,
we gotta stop this.
I'm gonna do something to you. Good night, Lefty. Please answer today, Judge.
Yo, what's going on, boys? How are you?
Yo, dap me up.
Hey, all right, damn. What part of the city are you from?
Yo,
what's up?
there, brother.
Hey,
yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
You guys ready for this?
Take this.
Oh, all right, sick. Why don't you guys come inside?
Don't ski.
These are the guys.
I'm Octavius Gray. And I'm Steve. Steve LeVois. It's okay, I have babe in here, right?
God is great.
Set the mood right. Pick you up at PM looking so fly. Sunset rooftop, yeah, that's nice, right? Hop in the G-Class, I know you need that. Heart racing fast like the speed of light. Is this attraction, or is it the moonlight? You want satisfaction, but only for one night. This could be real love, but you've been broken, and I just want you to see what I could be for you. 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 You got me wrapped up in your love.
Barely.
Finding you is like a treasure. Making my heart feel this way, yeah, yeah. And I'll treat you so damn special.
Peace and blessings to you, Mike.
What you did, who you were with, I don't care about those days. When I'm with you, I won't complain. Share your success and heartbreaks. Yeah, you know I stay by your side. Never leave you dissatisfied. But I need you to let me know. Is this attraction, or is it the moonlight? You want satisfaction, but only for one night. This could be real love, but you've been broken, and I just want you to see.
You have a good night, Ham Dog.
What I could be for you. 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 Baby girl, it's just one night. Yeah, baby girl, it's just one night. Oh, yeah, it's just one night. Yeah, baby girl, it's just one night. Yeah, girl, it's just one night. Yeah, baby girl, it's just one night. Oh, yeah, it's just one night. Yeah, baby girl, it's just one night.
All right, I'm back to normal today. I gotta figure out a real balance with waiting on court and pretending like I'm not waiting on court. I wasted a day today. I won't waste no more days. That's my word. All right.
Crushed it.
God is great. Of course I took today off, bro. If you knew the losses that I took, that shit would humble you, bro. Of course I was waiting on the judge.
I gotta go.
You got it,
I don't want
Jess.
to hurt myself.
You gotta pee? It's all right.
No,
You got it, Jess.
You gotta go, girl.
Let go.
I don't even want to fall.
Turn to the side.
You're okay. Just
Good.
land right on that booty, girl. Just put your legs out
Turn
and
to the
pull
side.
on your booty.
Jess, you're amazing. You got it.
You got it. You got it. Turn to the side.
You better
Just
shut
let go
that
and
shit
turn.
up right now,
Like you're laying
Carefree.
in bed.
Nah, we ain't doing all that for this.
On your side.
It's a little more
Just let go, turn to the
straightforward.
side. Shut your eyes. Just turn to the side.
You're okay.
I've never even heard of him.
I'm petty.